Hey everyone, how are y'all? Meta Mom, how are you tonight? I was just asking you in Discord where you were going. You said you were out of there. Alright, y'all don't forget to put your chat on live chat. Mine's done jumped like 30 times already before I even went live. Cool Gamer, how are you? Princess Megan, did I say hi to you a minute ago? I cannot remember if I did or not. Betty Jo Tell Bubbles, I said hi. Yeah, everybody, y'all keep uh, prayers going up for those in Oklahoma right now. They're having like really bad weather going through there. Cool Gamer, I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. All right, emails at the top of the chat. Lady V, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, wait, hold on. I got to turn you down a little bit. Okay,
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Tired?
Hello, everybody. Praying for everybody's safety. You're tired?
Yes, Lord, I am tired.
I'm sorry. Well, I can't say anything about that. I went to bed the other night as soon as I ate dinner in bed like 8 o'clock. I just totally passed out.
See,
Hey,
that's
JC.
that's the kind of sleep I need. I need about 48 hours straight worth of sleep.
Hey, Elsie. It's hard to do nowadays. Get some sleep.
Oh yeah, I've got too much going on around here, and I could not sleep last night.
Oh, why? Or just
Just
restless?
yeah, just a lot going on around here and all that. And I
How's
get
your
to.
aunt?
She's doing all right. She's still in a lot of pain, but she's getting through it day by day.
Oh my. Well, she's in my prayers, and so are you.
Well, thank you. Has the weather gotten bad up there yet?
Not yet.
Okay,
Actually, it's very calm right now, which is not always a good sign. Hi,
true.
cool gamer. It's been a long time since I seen you.
Yeah, I was watching Dan's comments in the chat, and he was saying that there was, I believe he said now what, three confirmed deaths.
Yeah, and there's like right now 3 tornadoes on the ground, mainly in Oklahoma. There is Bartlesville and what was the other one? Barn something or other. Anyway, that town got pretty much wiped out.
Oh wow. Um.
It was like a town of like 1,000 or something, and now it's
Oh,
headed to bigger town. It's like a mile and a half wide.
well, I did hear back from Sarah Beth. I had wrote her the other day because a lot of people were asking about her. Um,
Yes,
she says that they're fine, that they've been helping their neighbors and stuff like that, and so she's doing good. Because I
good,
know
good.
her neighborhood was hit pretty bad that night. Hey, Justin, how are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's sad. It's very, you just never know with these things. At least with hurricanes, you kind of know where it's headed.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
The
you've got like
tornadoes,
40,000 different tracks that you have to
right.
keep up with, but yeah.
But by the time it's hitting, you can kind of gauge where it's going to be, right?
Yeah, well, once it hits the Gulf, depending on which way it comes in, once it hits the Gulf, you will pretty much know if it's going to hit Texas, us, like the in the west of Louisiana, Texas line, or in the east, the Louisiana Mississippi line, or further east or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah,
I mean,
tornadoes.
Yeah, I mean, here, the storms are going to hit you, right? But I mean, you have no idea. I mean, it can drop down on your head, literally.
Right. Or they're rain wrapped or anything like that at night, which is a scary
That's
thought.
when it's scary. It is.
Yeah.
And usually that's when we get them here is in the evening or at night.
Yeah. I hate really bad storms, especially when they have wind. Linda G, how are you?
But
I
it,
especially hate them at night, though.
yeah. Then the mom, what 10-month-old baby has been found?
I don't think
God, 10.
I have heard
Mate.
about the 10-month-old baby, 2-month-old baby that had went missing. They found the mom deceased, and now the baby. Is that in Arizona? I've seen so many missing people cases in the last few days scrolling through
Oh,
Twitter.
I
It's
know.
so
It's crazy.
difficult.
Dan made peach cobbler.
Oh Lord.
That man.
I don't even want to hear it.
I'd be so
I don't have
fat.
no ice cream to go with it.
Mm.
Tagged you in Twitter. Okay, let me go to Twitter then. Minimum. 1 second. Uh, let's see if this is it.
Yeah, this one down there, I have only heard tornado emergency maybe 2 or 3 times in my entire life. That means like twister huge tornado. Like everybody watch out because I mean that's extremely deadly.
Okay, this might have been the one that I'm thinking about. Alea Maria Torres. Hold on, I'm just gonna pull her picture real quick because I do remember seeing this picture, but this may be the one I was thinking about
Oh, I
that
saw
I
that
was
picture.
thinking. For some reason, I was thinking she was younger than 10 months old.
Well, she kind of looks younger, doesn't she?
Yeah, this
In
could be
some ways.
an old picture.
Maybe because she's just tiny.
She's a pretty little thing, though.
She is. They all are.
Poor thing. Now,
Elia Marie Torres.
yes, Alea. I think it's Alea Marie Torres. Maria
Okay.
Torres is her name.
Okay, so they found her.
Yeah, they found her, but the mom and the mom's friend uh, were murdered. Says the suspect murdered them both. They were the baby's mama and her friend, and they were only 23 years old.
Hey, Avery,
Good Lord, she didn't change the name
murder Candy.
again.
We like to tease you. We like to confuse you, her and I.
Oh my God. Well, she keeps kind of the same name, so I know it's her, but now I gotta get used to seeing that one in the chat.
Hmm,
I don't know. This case of Micah Miller,
that's
uh,
strange.
I have been looking into this case, y'all, for like 3 nights now, and I'm still not 100% caught up. And Avery, how are you tonight? Um, it's very strange. Okay, so there is no more grave evidence. I'm only doing the podcast. Okay, so we are sticking with the Murder Candy podcast, right, Avery? She'll say that, and then she'll pop in chat under another
Uh-huh.
name.
Yeah.
Uh, but anyway, so the medical examiner has came out and said that Micah has unalived herself. In my opinion, I don't believe it. I don't think that she did. I think that her husband has everything to do with this. There was just too much going on between the two of them before she died for it not to look like he had something to do with this.
Oh, she has super good news about the podcast.
No, because I have super good news about it. Okay, well, If you want to put it in here, Avery, you can, or drop it in Discord. Either one, it don't matter. Hey, Liza, how are you?
Hi,
Um,
Liza.
but yeah, it's just this whole case is weird. Uh,
Di- didn't the autopsy come out and say that? I mean, the
it
coroner or whoever say that
it
it
was
was self-inflicted?
it was the medical examiner that came out and said it. They said that they were okay. So the medical examiner that was on call that day was there, but that one that came out with the statement was not on call, but they were also there at the
She's the
scene.
young one, right? Is
Uh,
she the one that's like
the
40
medical
something?
the medical
Yeah.
examiner. I don't know. I haven't
Oh, I heard something
looked
about a
into her.
young.
Um, but what they're saying is based off of the wounds, the wound or whatever, that it's consistent with a self-inflicted GSW. And I'm trying to watch what I say on here.
Right.
Like I said, I don't believe it. Um, her husband, and for those who don't know about this case, let me grab her picture real quick.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot about it.
Oh, hold on. I thought I had it pulled up here because I had to use it for my.
Mm.
Oh,
And I'm
come
going to
on.
say something, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but this is just how I was raised. How many times was he divorced? Once
Okay, so
or twice?
that's what I'm still trying to figure out because I had read when this first came out that he had a previous wife that had passed away. But then I seen on something else where his first wife doesn't want to have anything to do with this case or brought into it, which I completely understand. So I have not
Is
gotten
that three wives then?
that's the way I'm understanding it. Uh, so I'm still trying to confirm if the late wife, the mother of his kids, are deceased or not.
Okay, so in my particular beliefs, I'll just put it that way. Um, we don't. He was divorced once, and she wasn't ever okay. Anyway, in my particular beliefs that I was raised in, you'd have to have an extremely good reason, and it wouldn't have been on you. It would have been a good reason on the partner. Otherwise, that pastor wouldn't have been in the pulpit any longer. Like if you were fooling around or going to see
Well,
ladies in the
see,
night.
as of yesterday, he has been relieved of his duties at the church.
Yeah, I heard that finally happened.
And
But I
it's,
mean, I'm talking about before this. I mean, the divorce before this, it would have had to been something that that person was completely innocent of for them to
mhm,
stay in the pulpit.
right. Yeah, this dude
Not
is
that
just,
people are perfect or anything like that, but you are representing a higher power, and there are things that are expected of a pastor. I'm
well,
trying to be really careful.
from what I have read that he has said to his congregation about her mental state, um, he was basically belittling her,
Yeah, he
talking
was.
down about her, and he should have
Hmm.
never told his congregation anything
No.
about her mental state. If that is her story to tell,
Hmm.
if and when she wanted to tell it, um, that
Absolutely.
that wasn't for him to
No.
tell. Um, And so she passed away on April the 27th, on that Saturday. The next morning at church, he goes and goes all through church, preaches his sermon. At the very end, he says he has an announcement to make. He tells his congregation that after the announcement is made, that he wants everyone to get up and walk out of the church and not discuss anything
Not
about the
talking about it.
announcement in the church or anything like that. And there's
Right.
no emotion on this man's face. There is, he's not upset, nothing like that. And he just casually says, "Well, I got a call late last night that my wife has passed away, and it was self induced."
Did you notice that he was kind of protecting his upper body when he said that?
Yeah, and he kept putting his hand up to his mouth a lot.
Right.
Yeah. See, I heard another church member speak out on another channel. She talks about how the women are belittled in the church. And that's just not right.
No.
I, I don't, this case is, it's crazy. This guy she's married to, John Paul Miller. So he is a pastor at Solid Rock at Market Common Church. There is hey, Gemma, 2 minutes, how are you? Uh, there is another church called Solid Rock in the area, and they had to put out a notice to the public that they are in no way affiliated with the Solid Rock at Market Church, and that if because a lot of people are saying that uh, Mica's husband's church has been closed. Some are saying it hasn't been closed. That still hasn't been confirmed either. Um, but the way this other church is putting it out, that they're getting a lot of new people coming there from the church where Michael went. And they said, if you're coming here to get dirt, we don't have it because we're not affiliated with that church. If you're coming here to worship and to hear about the Lord, then we welcome you. But if you're here to get dirt,
Forget it.
yeah. Nellie, how are you? Nellie says in March he was preaching about how he went through her phone and people were saying she can talk to them. Yes, he went. He did. He went through 2 years worth of messages. He said, and he's
That's
telling his. Okay, and this, look out. This is while she is in the hospital. Okay. He goes through her phone. He goes through 2 years worth of messages where people, friends, family have reached out to her and said, if you need to talk about your husband, you know how to reach me. He talks about how it made him mad. I have not watched the video, but there's been other people who has talked about watching it, and that he gets upset in the video when he's talking about all this. And he has mentioned something about that, about preaching about getting rich and finding a hot wife who loves the Lord. And I'm just sitting here thinking, if that come out of that man's mouth, that is not a godly man.
no, it's not. And I mean, yeah,
It's
he
just,
should have been called out on that stuff.
see, is it true she was 15? King
That's
Scarlet,
what
that's
I've
what I've
heard.
heard. She was 15, he was 29.
Yeah, I think so.
Because, let's see, she's 30 now. Well, she was 30 when she passed away in April. He was born in 79. I believe it's what because I looked up his criminal record, and I believe it said he was born in 79. So that would make him 49 this year. Would that be right?
Nine.
I don't know. It's too late for me to try to math. So,
Uh, yeah, me too.
2019 would be 40.
Well, if I can get my phone on
Wait,
here.
no, that wouldn't be 45. That wouldn't be right.
Hang on just a second. You said he was born in
79.
79.
Just on, I think that too. I think he groomed her because I've heard that
All right.
he was her.
45, you were right.
Was that would that be right?
Yeah, you were right. You
Okay,
math
so
really good.
I don't know where I came up with 49 at the end. So yeah, 45 and she's 30. Married at 23 and 37. So yeah,
Yeah,
depending
I'll
on
work
when the
mine.
birthday is, 44 to 45 is how old he would be. She will forever be 30.
So what kind of criminal background does this man have? Just
There was some that was like mostly traffic stuff. There was one assault charge. I've seen on Facebook where somebody said something about him running over a lady twice in like 1999, and I tried to go through them and was trying to find that one, and I could never find that one. But a lot of traffic uh,
wow.
cases he has. His dad has a lot of traffic cases too. Uh, Speeding, not obeying a stop sign, stuff like that. Uh, his dad, his dad's name is Reginald Wayne Miller. That is a whole nother rabbit hole, y'all, that
Uh-huh.
I have not attempted to go down yet. Only, but what I have heard is that he does have uh, sex crime cases in the
Yep.
state of South Carolina and in Pakistan.
And
Um,
Pakistan, yeah.
it has to do with younger kids, teenage kids. Um, but I'm not wanting to
Main
concentrate on that part yet.
no, mainly boys from what I understand
Yeah,
on him.
yeah. And apparently, a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of weeks prior to Mica passing away, um, the husband's dad had a friend who also passed away, but I haven't seen how that guy passed away yet. Hey, Kelly
Are
P,
you
how are you?
talking about the one that was paraplegic?
No, okay. So the guy that was in the wheelchair, okay, from I believe he had a car accident
Yeah, he did. He was
that caused
drinking and driving, or he
it,
was drinking anyway.
and he was in a car accident. He was paralyzed. He was married to, and I don't really want to put the lady's name out, even though it's all over the internet. But he was married to a woman um, who goes to the same church, and now that woman has been. It has been claimed that that woman and John Paul, which is Micah's husband, had been dating. I've seen for at least a year and a half. I've seen people say that they think for at least 2.5 years. There was questions that had came out. Or, I'm sorry, not questions, pictures that had came out literally right after Micah had passed of the two of them at a restaurant together.
Right.
Um, but anyway, so her husband was in a wheelchair. He was paralyzed from the neck down. And it's pretty much the same story as what Micah's is, that he had attempted to take his own life a couple of different times. And then one day he just goes into the swimming pool and he drowns and takes his life.
See, what I heard was he accidentally got too close to the pool, but he
Okay.
was an excellent swimmer, so they're wondering how that even happened.
It's almost like a Lori and Chad case 2.0. Hey, Big Al, how are
Now,
you?
Brian R. says that he lives 1 mile from one side of the park, and trust me, nobody that far off will go out there. The blue, it's just swamp and sandy land
Sandy
and
Land.
river.
I I wonder if she was lured there
Could be.
or if someone drove her there. Sally Mae, I, I don't know. I don't know if because like I said, he was a quadriplegic. Um,
I don't
uh,
know. He did have one of the, I mean, well, that would have been easy enough to though say that, that scooter or whatever fell on top of him or wheelchair or whatever. I mean,
yeah,
that would, but he was an excellent swimmer. So they're wondering, they said what I heard was he had gotten too close to the pool and fell in. But then I heard that can't be right because he was an excellent swimmer.
yeah. I don't know. It just seems weird that her husband passes away by taking his own life, and then she starts dating this guy who was the pastor of the church while he's married, and now all of a sudden,
A paraplegic cannot swim. I'm sorry, I did not know it was from the neck down.
yeah, it's he. I think it's that he broke his neck and caused him to be paralyzed from the neck down.
That I hadn't heard that.
Um, but it's like I said, it's just weird how
Quadriplegic.
her husband dies, and the claims are that he took his own life. She starts dating the pastor who was married, who puts it out to his congregation that his wife has a mental illness. She has, attempted.
You still don't date till after you're divorced.
Right. But we
And
have to remember, though, he's not a normal pastor.
you got that right. Let me say real quickly, guys, I had misheard. I thought it was a paraplegic. I didn't realize he was a quadriplegic.
Did
So
I say
forgive me.
paraplegic?
No, I did.
Oh, okay. Okay. But, so anyway, he was basically, I think what he was doing when he was painting her out to be this person with a mental illness, and I'm not saying she didn't have some type of mental illness. We don't know. We're never going to be able to read her medical records, so we can't say 100% yes or 100% no, she didn't. The point is, though, he was painting it out to his church members that is the reason why she was doing what she was doing. He was, in my opinion, telling them all of his wife's business to make it look like if something would have happened to her, then he
Hmm.
can very easily make it look like she did this to herself, because I've done told him she has a mental illness problem. Uh,
Right.
she's taken meds. She don't like the meds. She don't like how they make her feel. She has attempted to take her life before. We try to get her help for it. He painted that whole picture. So if something happened, then he could say, "Well, I told y'all this is,
Right.
what was going on with her." Um, but her sister went and did an affidavit. Her sister and her brother. Um, they are trying to be over her. Well, the sister is, I know, over her estate, so they can get all this information. The sister, in her affidavit, said that Mica told her that she feels like she's not going to make it to the divorce. And as she ends up I'm not trying to be graphic with this, but this is the words that was said. That Micah said, if I end up with a bullet in my head, it was, I didn't do it. JP did it. JP meaning
Right.
John Paul Miller. And that is in the actual affidavit. I have it here. I'm going to pull it up, but I got to get the person's Twitter account and share with y'all that it came from.
Did you watch the video she made? I'm sure you did.
I tried to start one of the videos and I couldn't do it.
Well, the one where she's in the hat and stuff, I think it would be good to because it reaches at one point she's talking about abuse and stuff like that and being God's bride first before your spouse's bride, right?
Hmm.
whether it's a man or a woman, all that biblical stuff. Um, but at one point, she says that um, she talks about, just for a second, she talks about illegal drugs, and she makes this face like somebody trying to get you to take illegal drugs. And she makes this face, and just her eyes are like saucers when she makes that. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? That kind of
Right.
a.
Yeah.
So I had wondered about if he had been trying to get her to take some illegal drugs or something.
I don't know about illegal drugs, but um, I know that it was said that she was given medication and she didn't like to take it.
Then she ended up being on, was it lithium? Is that the name of it?
Where did I see in like the very, very beginning? Uh, Lithium Lexapro. So King Scarlet, he has 5 kids, but they was not with Mica. That was with a previous wife, which I have read that it was some article that I read in the very beginning that said that he had 5 kids with his late wife. But then I've also heard people say something about his first wife.
Now,
So
I think
I'm
she's asking, was he was with his kids when she passed, right?
he was with the kids. Oh, I read that he has the kids. I have not heard confirmation of what his alibi is. I did hear that he was in Charlotte when she did this, or when this happened to her, I should say. Um, I looked up Charlotte, North Carolina to the state park where she was found at. It was like a 2.5 hour drive, but I have not seen like 100% confirmation of what his alibi is.
I
And Key
haven't
Scarlet,
either.
I'm sorry, I completely read that your comment
It's
wrong.
okay. That's one reason I'm here.
Okay, let me get this person's.
It's
Where is
not
it?
like you're doing anything else, right?
What's that?
I said that's one reason I'm here. That's not like you're not doing anything else, right?
Oh,
Like,
right, yeah. But y'all know how I am when I read some comments. I completely read them wrong.
so do I. That's why I kind of read over them twice. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I read that wrong.
It's still the chicken in the kitchen one that night. I still don't
I
know how
have a
I got
chance.
chicken out of kitchen.
I I skim a lot. I don't like read it. I
Um,
like
mhm.
speed read and kind of skim over stuff. Sometimes it's like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense.
Well, that's because I have so much to read and try to absorb that I
Oh, I
have to
know.
skim over it.
That's what I just
Okay.
don't have patience for reading anymore. I just want to get through it.
Okay, so this is the person who has put these papers on Twitter. Um, I'm going to share their Twitter account. They do have their watermark on the documents. So it's right to share that. If you are not following them, go do so. Okay, let me pull this up. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. All right, so this is an application petition for appointment as special administrator. And this is what her sister was going for. This is all the stuff that she wanted this to be the administrator of Mica's estate for. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read the ones that are checked here. Um, she wanted it so she could take appropriate actions involving the estate assets, specifically preserving the decedent's portion of the marital estate, to obtain medical, tax, and other confidential records, specifically the Waccamaw Mental Health, South Strand Medical Center, Grand Strand Medical Center, uh, I'm sorry, Grand Strand Regional Medical Center, and the Victims Advocacy to gain access and to take possession of any wills, deeds, to cemetery plots and insurance policies or other estate related documents in the decedent's safe deposit box located at to be determined. Sally Mae, I haven't seen anything about his alibi other than he was allegedly in Charlotte at the time that this happened to her. Uh, then the bottom one here says see attached memorandum in support of the application for appointment of special administrator. It has been said that while she was in the hospital, he took all of her belongings out, took them to a friend's apartment. Mica did not know that this was happening, that all of her stuff was gone, that she had a lot of stuff that she had put together that she was going to give to her attorney to help in, once this goes to court for the divorce and all that. Um, all of that stuff got deleted off of her computer. All that was gone. She wasn't able to recover that. It was also said that the deed to their house was given over to the church. Trying to think of what else. There's been a lot of stuff that has come out in this case. A lot of.
Yeah, Liza, what alibi have you heard, huh? I still want to call her Lisa.
I called her Lisa forever, and then I realized it was Liza. Okay, this was done on the second day of May, so just 4 days ago. Hey, sweet Melissa, how are you? Okay, so let me get, and I do have an incident report, actually two of them, also here, that I want to read to y'all. Okay, who is this? No, that's the brother's affidavit. I know, I'm not worried about
My
that one.
opinion, they was bussin' on the road 74 and seen parked by chance, and then little 2 hours later on the same road, he in Charlotte.
Charlotte.
That's what Brian R. says. Thank you, Brian.
I mean, it's been said that they had determined that nobody else was in the car with her. How do you determine, y'all? There's no way to determine that my husband has not been in my truck.
No,
Okay, there's just no way. So
his DNA would be everywhere in my
exactly,
vehicle.
there's just I don't know how they can determine that she was in a vehicle by herself when this happened. So you put her in the mental hospital not once but twice because she was filing for divorce. Yeah, I actually have a timeline on all of that filing stuff as well. Okay, let me get.
Back chat when you get a chance.
Okay. Oh, how the hell did that happen? I got two things pulled up here and one of them popped up. Okay. I'm trying to. I done lost my stuff, y'all. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to pull up both of these. That way I can just drop one and bring the other one right up. Dear Lord. Which one do I want? This one? Let's see. Depends on what side. Sally Mae, I guess I see what you're saying with that. And I don't want to be I don't want to explain what you mean by that just because I think it would be too graphic. But let me try to I think if there was somebody else sitting in the passenger side or in the driver's side, if there was just somebody in the front of the car with her, uh, and she did this depending on what side, uh, they would get a lot of stuff on them, which would then block from getting on the door, the window, if that makes sense. How I'm saying it. Okay. And Avery, yeah, um, there could have been cameras there. Brian R, is there cameras at the state park? Okay, so he was in a game with some of his kids and another pastor at the game. He was using a bullhorn. Apparently, he made sure made sure to be noticed. Allegedly, see, Avery King Scarlet said same thing I did. He done changed your name again, but King Scarlet, she said this is it. Like she's not changing it no more. Sweet Melissa said that his friend said that he was with him the whole day. I don't believe it. They would have to show me proof of him on that day at the time that they're saying that this happened to her at a game 2.5 hours away. Okay, so Brian said not on his side. I'm not sure about that side, which I know exactly where they found her. Yeah, they haven't. They just said in the park. They haven't said like the specific area or anything like that. Yeah, hold on, Avery. Let me grab it for you. And from my understanding, there's supposed to be something coming out tomorrow as far as a report. Okay, so this is the affidavit of Sierra Francis, which is her sister. This is the same person from their Twitter account that I had posted a minute ago. Oh shit, I'll have to go back and get their Twitter account. Avery, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
No squirrels.
Sorry.
Sally Mae said no squirrels.
How are y'all?
Doing good.
Hi, I'm good. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm just coming to defend myself. I swear I am not I don't know, but would it be quadruple polar by now? But I had to change my name. I had no choice.
Okay, so this is it. The last time.
Well, so
I'm not going to say that because I might change mine.
Well, I had combined them, Grave Evidence and Murder County Podcast, so I could upload the podcast to my channel. But I'm getting to it's called deck feeds to two like bigger companies, and there's no way possible that I can do Grave Evidence and do videos, do the podcast, plus work during the day, plus mom. I can't. I had to give up something.
Right. Well, I'm going to steal your Grave Evidence then.
Take it. Yeah, take it. But I swear you guys, I'm not. Yes, take it.
Oh, I was kidding, but I will.
No, take it. Take it. I'm not crazy. Right. I swear. I'm not crazy. But to keep changing my name, I just, I really didn't have a choice. It was either make a whole new channel. Kind of, sort of. Like I don't want to say exactly who yet, but it's a big podcaster, not on YouTube, but just a big podcaster.
Cool.
Yeah, and so I have to do it's called a pitch deck, and I'm working on that. And if that goes through, then yeah. So I had to.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. But I know y'all think I'm crazy, which I am crazy, honestly. I really am crazy, but not that kind
of
crazy.
Love your crazy.
Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm grabbing something.
I'm gonna take the other one.
Oh yeah, you can take it. Because do you know how I found Grave Evidence? I googled cute true crime podcast names, and it was one of the ones that popped up, and so I was like, "Ooh, Grave Evidence, okay."
Well, I can't do that. I'll feel horrible, but I love the name.
No, they give you no. That's what they give you the ideas for. It's a generator. It's a podcast name idea generator.
All right, guys. Well, you're going to see me as Grave Evidence.
Okay, so I just posted the link again to the Twitter X account that these documents came from. hold on, I just saw Betty Joe. I agree. I don't think she did this to herself. I think that either he did it or he had someone to do it. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that is a fact. I'm just saying that is my opinion.
Now, I have a couple questions because I've only been able to catch bits and pieces, and I haven't been able to decipher what is fact and what is rumor.
Mhm.
Um, but I know they released the cause of death. Now, did she have gunpowder residue on her fingers? Do you
It,
know?
I have not read the actual report. It came out in an article that the ME said that it was her cause of death was a self-inflicted GSW, and it was not to the back of the head like was originally being speculated or being said on social media. Um, Now, if they came out with a report somewhere, I have not seen that yet. Uh, the was it the sheriff up in North Carolina
Hmm.
where she was found in that county? Is it Robinson County? Robinson County, something like that. Uh, there is an investigation going on, but he said that he's hoping by tomorrow, Tuesday, that he will have a report out.
Huh. So, I mean, I would like to know if she had gun residue on her fingertips. I would also like to know if there was video surveillance in that park, because most state parks do have cameras. So I'd like to know if maybe they have it on camera. But I
Well,
would,
Brian R. lives a mile from there. He said on his side of the park they don't have cameras, but he's not sure about that side of the park. But he also doesn't know exactly where she was found at in the park.
oh, okay.
So, uh,
Um, but the only other thing I wanted to say, and then I'll hush. Just from what I've been hearing, though, even if she did do it to herself, I
mhm.
would still think that he needed to be looked at because just from what I've been hearing now, all the I don't know, like if it's alleged or fact, but it sounds like she was in a very abusive situation,
And
and
he drove her to it.
yeah, you can very much push somebody to do that, and I think if you do that, you should be held responsible.
Yeah.
So I think that's why the family is asking for it to be looked into. I think,
Key Scarlett, this is all I need right here.
Yeah, because they don't believe it at all.
Yeah, I'm hoping the family can get something done more than just what we've heard, like a
I'm sorry.
deep dive investigation into this.
Whether or not he did this, he's just a sleazeball, in my opinion. That's just,
Well,
I
whether
think,
he or
severely
not he's the
right.
one that physically
Terrible.
took her life, he still contributed to it.
He did. Absolutely.
So, Art, thank you so much for that super chat. And Art says that there is no excuse for abuse. Rest in peace, Mica.
yeah,
I don't know any husband that would not try to protect his wife and her reputation.
This man belittled her.
He did.
yeah, just the tidbits that I've caught, like from her Facebook page and stuff. It definitely seems like she was in an abusive relationship, and he very well could have manipulated. And I would want to know her toxicology also.
Yeah, me
There's
too.
so much that I would want to know.
Okay, so there was a rumor going around that she had been cremated. That the
Oh,
husband,
great.
but wait, hold on, that the husband had her cremated. But it has also been said that that is not true, that she was not, that her family slash LE stopped that from happening.
Well, even if she was cremated, I'm sure they already removed, what they need for toxicology.
Mhm. But it
Yeah,
stops.
but you never know if you're going to need to go back and
I
look
mean,
again.
look at the Tammy Daybell case.
Right. Yeah.
There was no autopsy done because Chad didn't want one done, and then the deeper they dove into that case, hey Tiff, how are you? They had to then go back and exhume her body to do one, and
And
so when cremation is done, there's no going back.
It is so strange to me. Here in Alabama, I don't know if it's the whole state, but I know like when my mom passed, which was ovarian cancer, but they did an autopsy and we asked, like, why are you doing an autopsy when she's been suffering ovarian cancer? And they said it's standard. We do it on everybody. But they don't do that everywhere, and they should,
No,
I guess.
no, they don't because we had one of my husband's best friend that he known his entire life right at the beginning of the C, and
Hmm.
we're almost positive that they would, and they wouldn't. They were going to charge like $15,000 to have a autopsy.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is just an odd situation. This is really odd. And if she's such a religious woman, then she would think, I would think that she would think it would be a sin to take her own life.
Yeah, I
And so that
agree with
doesn't
that.
make sense to me either.
Well,
Mm-mm.
okay, so Sally Mae, I have heard he couldn't have a firearm, he couldn't vote or anything like that because he was a convicted felon. But I just thought about this after I told Liza that. When she left him, she could have gotten herself a firearm. Because as long as she's not living in the house with a convicted felon or someone who cannot have a firearm, then she could have one.
Right.
So she might have gotten herself one. And I will have to go back and pull all of his charges up.
Well, shoot.
But
I mean, I'm sure he knew people he could probably get one
Oh
illegally
yeah,
from too. I
yeah,
mean, it's not like it's hard to find that.
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure it was Vinnie Politan today or yesterday who was saying that he has convictions of DUI, domestic violence. Um, it was some pretty hefty convictions.
Well, I did see somebody, and you know how people they like to insert themselves with these different comments and stuff like that in all these different cases. But
Mm-hmm.
someone had posted a comment to JP and said, "You are such a piece." Well, they put POS. Um, that your wife's funeral just ended, and you're sitting in my bar drinking.
What? Oh no.
Yeah.
So that could be a
Well,
troll or it could be true. We don't.
Yeah, you don't never know. Yeah, Betty Joe, hold on one second. Let me grab it. Because, like I said, there was another guy that came out and said that he was out on the lake and heard a woman crying, and so he didn't really think a whole
oh
lot of
yes.
it. And then he heard the shot, and he thought, "Oh my God! Like I hope it's not, that's not what happened." And he got his boat through the trees and got up there, and there was like this little tote thing on the ground, and her glasses were out of it. So he picked it up and took it with him and went and loaded his boat at the ramp. And by the time he did all of that, he saw the police. So he went down there and told them what he had heard and what he had found. Well, okay, if that is true, you just touched evidence.
Mm,
Yeah,
You just
absolutely.
contaminated everything that you just found.
wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you don't know. There's in every case we have seen it. There's always going to be somebody, and I'm not saying that the man's lying because I don't know if he is or not. But there's always going to be somebody who's going to insert themselves that they've seen this or they heard that when they didn't hear nothing. They don't even live nowhere close to where it happened. So, Betty Joe, how are you?
Good,
Hey, Betty Joe, how are you, hon?
good.
Hi, Betty Joe.
Hello, Avery.
Are you okay?
Uh,
You sound a little off
No, I'm all
sounding.
right.
Oh, okay.
Brian,
Now that
are
sounds like
they?
you.
I'm wondering if she had ever did they ever take a trip there? Because like what is what do people go to this state park to do? Like, is there anything scenic there?
Not really. I mean, just the
There's
park, probably
it's
where you just hang
just
out
a
and have
park.
barbecues.
Because like at the one that has the picture that we think possibly could be Sebastian. Y'all said it was what was the mountain? Grandfather Mountain. So there's like a lookout or something. Like there's something to do there.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian R says nothing on that side, just woods. So I don't know. I don't know if maybe she's been there before.
Is that where they're saying she was?
Yes, at the Lumber River State Park in North Carolina. Is where she was found at. It's like an hour from her house, from Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty much in the middle of nowhere.
But now, is it true that she wasn't living with him anymore?
That's what I heard.
She had done filed for divorce.
She was filing for divorce.
Okay, hold on, because where's my timeline at? I've got two different timelines.
I think they hadn't lived together for like a year and a half, something like that, I think is what I heard.
Really? That's a long time.
Okay, April the 15th or 16th, she filed for separation. April the 23rd, the separation hearing was scheduled for June the 5th, and a notice was released. So he would have gotten a notice for it as well.
Yeah, because in the state of, if I'm right, in the state of North Carolina and South Carolina, you have to be legally separated for a year before the divorce goes through.
Okay.
What? Are you serious?
Yes. No, I'm dead serious.
Oh, it is a good thing I didn't get married there. Good Lord.
Well, see, this went back all the way to October, though. So October the 8th to 9th, she filed for divorce from JP, according to the South Carolina Judicial Branch. February the 13th, the October divorce was dismissed. February the 20th. Wait, did I just say October 13th or February 13th?
Yes.
Yes.
He said October.
Yeah, Jesus.
It's okay.
Okay. October the 8th is when she filed for divorce.
Right.
February 13th, the October divorce was dismissed. February the 22nd, JP files for separation from Mica. March the 12th, the February separation was dismissed without prejudice. April the 15th, Mica files for separation. April the 23rd, a separation hearing was scheduled for June the 5th, and a notice was released. She would have got one, he would have got one.
Right.
April 27th, Mica Miller was found deceased with a GSW at Lumber River State Park in, is it Robson County or Robinson County?
Robinson,
okay. April the 28th, JP Miller gave a sermon in which he mentioned Mica's death. At the end of the sermon, he told the church that her death was self-induced.
Yes.
That man should not have...
He should have never brought that up. And right there, that sounds so suspicious, because apparently she was probably going to be granted the legal separation.
Yeah.
And he took care of it.
Well, I mean,
in my opinion.
Now there is more to this timeline. That was just a quick one that I had found online. There is another part of the timeline that has more dates that I will pull up in a second. But also on May the 5th, so just Sunday, there were two ceremonies that were held in memory of Mica. One was at the Solid Rock Church on Market Common with John Paul. There was also, from what I have heard, protesters. Thank you, Brian. There was protesters outside of the church when this was going on. They were there for Mica. The other ceremony was held at the beach in North Myrtle Beach, and that was hosted by her family.
Yeah.
And I have heard that that's where she was also baptized. So that's where they had it done at, where the family did her ceremony or whatever.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
But I don't know if you know the answer, but is he suspended from the church for what's happened with his wife or how he made the announcement, or is he suspended because the church is now aware of his background, like his conviction?
I think it's a little bit of both.
I do too. I think I agree with Betty Jo, because he all of a sudden when these pictures, like, okay, so she's been deceased since April the 27th. Okay, he announced to the church on the 28th about her passing away. So if he needed to grieve and to heal and whatever these excuses were that they gave for him being relieved of his duties, why not do it then? It wasn't done until the pictures started hitting social media of him and this lady that he is allegedly dating, whose husband was in the wheelchair and also passed away. So it seems like it could be a little bit of both, because y'all, when this came out, and a lot of people wouldn't think that, a pastor's wife dies. This one here hit social media, y'all, and ran like wildfire.
Yep.
Like everybody went to it.
Now, how long? I'm sorry, I have so many questions, but
no, you're good.
How long ago was it that the lady that he's allegedly dating, how long ago was it that her husband passed away? Because what are the odds? But, I mean,
Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell.
I mean, so I was listening earlier when you guys were talking about it, and so they were saying that the alleged girlfriend's husband unalived himself by purposely going into the pool, and now this man's wife unalived herself, and I just, what are the odds of that? Like, I want to know how long ago that was.
I remember reading, I'm trying to find the man's name so I can find it, and I know I've got it wrote down here somewhere, because it literally took me forever to find her name.
I just can't go through another Daybell situation if that's what these people are doing.
I'm telling you.
I have a question. Wasn't it said that the girl he's with now, wasn't it said that she's wearing his wife's jewelry?
Yes.
Thank you. I thought I was.
What?
I didn't think I was seeing things.
I had read that right around the time that the picture started coming out of the two of them.
Yeah.
That someone, hey Arv, how are you? The odds would increase if it's in Idaho. So
are there pictures to corroborate this, or is that just somebody saying?
You want to say? I got the pictures of them together. Hold
yeah,
on. I'll bring this document back up. Hold on one second.
Supposedly they took pictures of her wearing her
Mica's jewelry.
Okay, no, I don't have that picture, but I do have them together.
I think it was on TikTok, but I'm not sure.
There's one.
What is he laughing
if that's
about?
not a red flag.
What is he?
And because this is his.
That's him.
Yeah, that's him with his woman.
He's narcissistic.
And this is right after Mica passed away.
He didn't give a shit about Mica.
Oh, let me punch him. Let me punch him all up in his face.
Avery, did you watch the video she made?
Part of it, I did. Yeah, but why is he? There's something.
That's him and her. This is at a different location. You can tell they got different clothes on. Look, there's multiple times that they went out together. Yes, just on it is.
Oh, I don't like them.
That's just.
I mean, this has been going on, and from what I have read on Facebook groups, that when somebody noticed these two in the church and the stuff that was going on with them two, and if they mentioned something about it to him or to the lady they called her his right hand person in the church, they were asked to leave the church.
Do you guys want me to go to North Carolina and stalk him? I'm willing. I'm down.
No,
he's not worth it.
He's not. Yeah, it's not worth it.
I live in North Carolina. I can do it.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Betty Joe, you need to do like a PI and get. We need surveillance. We need audio.
The bad part is I have my.
I can tell you how to put truckers on his vehicle.
I know how to do all that. The bad part is I have my granddaughter.
Yeah, we can't do it because
of bubbles.
Oh man, I was getting ready to go full on Black Ops.
I was going to say, oh my gosh, Betty Joe and Avery on the case.
Okay, well, this is, and yeah, I'm gonna come back to the document that I had pulled up in a minute. Yes, Brian, his church is in Myrtle Beach. Okay, so this is what the mistress has said a couple of days after Mica had passed away. Um, Avery, can you see the chat?
I'll come stalk Big Al.
Okay, so she comes out and apparently, like, pictures are out, people are talking. You know how social media talks. So she comes out and she says, he is my friend. His wife died 4 days ago. He had no one to eat with. Boo fucking who. He had nobody to eat with. Anyway, he asked some people to sit with him, but no one could go. So when he asked if I could go, I went. Of course she did. Of course she did. We've been friends for years. It wasn't a date. People also said that he murdered his wife. And y'all, there are some words that I have to change in here.
Right.
Okay. So some people also said that he murdered his wife, but we think that she called the police before she did that and said that she bought a firearm and wanted to unalive herself and wanted to make sure that they could ping her phone so her family could find the body. And then she put could find after, I don't know.
What?
I guess it's
that just sounds so fake.
But why? Okay, but look, if they're just friends, how does she know all of this information?
Right, exactly.
Who told her this? Why the hell is she speaking out on this married man's deceased wife? Why the hell is she even speaking out on it?
You know what gets me is these people never think, okay, this is the second wife that is no longer upon the face of this earth. I wonder if I could be the next.
The thing is, though, all she had to say, if they were just friends, all she had to say was, me and him are only friends. We didn't go on a date. His wife just recently passed away, and he just wanted someone to go out and eat with him.
Yeah.
And
we went out as friends to eat dinner because he just lost his wife. That's all you got to say. You sitting there explaining it. You're writing a book.
Jailer called a court processor serving JP today. Oh, just on. Did he say what he was being served with? And yes, Brian JLR is up there. If I'm not mistaken, he was at the park today. I think I seen a thumbnail.
That's not a good
I know
place
he
for
was
JLR
at.
to be.
I know he was at the memorial the other day.
Was he?
Okay, not a good place for him to be.
I could have swore I'd seen though one of his thumbnails that showed the park sign or something and where she was found. Or that might have been somewhere. Y'all don't quote me.
Scarlett, does that say up at the top that the mistress has spoken? Am I reading that right? Okay.
Yes. Yep.
The mistress has spoken.
I don't have my glasses on, so I'm like,
Okay, so yeah, she's got a big mouth. This woman does. Just wait till y'all hear the rest of it. Okay, so they could ping her phone so the family could find the body and all this and that. So this is from the nurse at the hospital. Well, first of all, there is no nurse that is going to tell the husband's mistress about what went on. How the hell would a nurse at a hospital know that she went and bought a firearm and she was going to call the police so they could ping her phone so the family could find her?
No.
Yeah, how would she know all that?
I think she's talking out of her ass. All right, so this is from the nurse at the hospital. Then she did it. She has attempted unaliving herself before. She is schizophrenic, bipolar, and has a dependent personality disorder. This woman she's sitting here giving all of her medical information.
This is the alleged girlfriend saying this?
Yes, about Mica.
Oh, man, this is bad.
Yeah.
That's her opinion.
Yeah.
Because from her family, from Mica's family,
she was not like that.
None of that.
Right.
Oh, this is bad, y'all.
that he has drove her to think
that. Yeah, he I think for a while had mind control over her, and when she realized that she was not mentally ill, she did not need the medication, she started breaking away from him, and he didn't like it.
So and then when she filed for the last time she went and filed for the divorce, he did this, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Okay, so she put herself off of her medication starting in December against her doctor's orders and JP's wishes. Once again, the only way that this woman could know if any of this was true is that JP had to have told her this.
Yeah, and JP's wishes.
Yeah. Okay, so and even text her family to tell them that she was doing it. This is as long as she has been off of lithium since being diagnosed in 2017. A few weeks ago, she threw a belt out the car while driving on the highway because she thought it was a snake. Okay, let me tell you something. If I'm driving in my vehicle and I see something that looks like a snake and I don't think that it should be there, I'm throwing the damn thing out the window too.
Right?
I'm sorry. I don't see why that is a big deal.
It's not.
This is
driving
her.
down the road. If you're driving down the road and you see a lizard on the side of your window, you're gonna push it out the window.
I mean,
if a snake crawl across you,
exactly. So she is basically what this woman is doing is she is portraying, gaslighting. She is portraying Mica to be this way, and that is the reason why what happened to her
happened.
Why she did it.
Right.
That's what they're saying.
This is straight up sick. Like even if this is factual, Mica is not here to defend herself. And this woman has no right to be telling anybody these things. This is sick.
Exactly.
I know.
I agree.
Wow.
Like I said, the only way she would know any of this, if it was true, is he had to tell it. And basically what she's doing is she is doing the same thing that JP did, but she's also throwing JP under the bus, letting everybody know that she knows all this because he told her.
I hope
Ron, I don't know if she was or not.
I hope Mica haunts her.
Oh, the truth's gonna come out.
Oh yeah.
This is just beyond disgusting.
Yeah. Okay. So she was recently playing chess alone and talking to herself, and when they asked her, and I don't know who they is, but when they asked her what was she doing, she said she's playing chess with a demon. She was very not extremely mentally ill. But you just said this woman was playing chess and talking to a demon, but then in the very next sentence you said she was very but not extremely ill.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you literally just contradicted yourself here.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You were doing the exact same thing to her that what JP done to her.
Yep.
You were belittling this lady.
Except for now she's gone and she can't defend herself. So you're going to belittle her while she's gone.
Basically, the Susie woman, this was a bitch move on her part.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
And I would have to say that this, to me, if I was in law enforcement, this is major red flags.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's true or not, I would be doing a double take.
They're supposed to be investigating it. I don't know if it started yet or if they're going to.
Yes, apparently, the Robinson County Sheriff said that there is an investigation into it.
Yeah.
And that there's supposed to be something coming out tomorrow. I don't know what time. That is East Coast, so they're an hour ahead of me.
Well, if I see anything, I'll let you know.
Yeah, just send it to me because I'm going to be gone all day tomorrow. That's why I had to go live early tonight, so I can get out of here. So yeah, just send it to me on Discord. Okay, let's see. Okay, so she was very not extremely mentally ill. And the people who post things like this on social media haven't spoken to her or JP in years. Post things like this on social media, haven't spoken to her or JP in years. So you literally just admitted that you have recently spoken to JP.
Yeah.
Let's see. They were part of his first church that ended in 2015. Uh, and I can't read what's underneath the writing, so none of that is. I can't read the rest of it.
Do you know where this where this screenshot or article came from? Like,
I got it off of Twitter. I did a screenshot off of Twitter.
okay.
I can tell you though. Hold on. Who told me about the? What is his name?
I think
He's
there's
on.
a Facebook group too. I'm not sure.
Because you know what? If this was a news outlet that printed this, shame on them too. Because it kind of looks like a news article.
And that's Charlotte for you.
Yeah, something news 2024 is what it said.
See,
Oh,
shame on them.
what is that guy's name? Um, is it Justin on TikTok? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin on TikTok.
Okay, he did a live. Was it last night before last?
Last night.
Okay, if you go through that live, he has. Okay, are you the one that told me about his channel, Betty Joe?
I don't know, but I tried watching it, but I fell asleep.
Okay, well, I know either on the live last night or the night before that. I can't remember which one it was, but he has this up, but it's a much clearer image. I was trying to watch it on my phone. It was MetaMom. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But I was on my phone, and so I couldn't stop it to screenshot it from there. But he does have a much clearer image of this.
Yeah, I tried watching it, but I fell asleep.
Sally Mae, I'm right here.
Well, I'm just saying, shame on that news company too, because they didn't have any business printing that either. And I really wish
No.
that HIPAA violations would extend. You know, like I know that once a person's deceased, there's like, well, I don't actually know how that works, so I will just be quiet because I might not be accurate. But I wish that HIPAA violations would cover.
If I'm not mistaken, I think HIPAA still applies.
Yeah, I think so too.
I would hope. Yeah.
In order for me to do medical transcription, I had to do a test on that. I'm trying to think if there was something. I know that HIPAA applies while you're still alive. I believe it extends even once you're deceased. And the only way to get those medical records, it would have to be through a court order.
And I don't think it was on.
Okay, thank you, Liza. Liza says it stops once you pass.
Our main news is Channel 9. And I don't think it was on the news.
Well, here's the thing with HIPAA, though. HIPAA is for, like Sally Mae just said, it's for healthcare providers. It's not for family. I mean, family.
No, but she's saying that the nurse at the hospital,
she shouldn't be able to tell.
Right. The nurse should not be able to say a word.
Well, the nurse isn't going to tell her anything anyway.
No,
no, she's not even family.
She's not a grain akin to this to Mica.
Exactly.
She's a side piece. That's what she is.
So yeah, because anybody in medical profession cannot say anything unless it's a family member.
Right.
Right.
If it's a minor, it's to the parents or whoever, guardian, whatever. If it's a husband and wife, like when my husband goes to the doctor, I'm the only one that they could tell anything to.
Right, unless you sign a paper
that's how
saying,
it is with us.
Yeah.
Unless you sign a paper saying one of your kids can.
Yes, like an emergency contact or something like that. Because look, when my dad was in the hospital, when he had the 2 strokes, they wouldn't tell me nothing over the phone. They wouldn't tell me anything when I went to the hospital because I'm just a child and he was legally married.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now see where I'm divorced. I have my daughter and my son as the ones that can receive information.
Right. I think Mica's family should go after that nurse. Just on, they would have to. I mean, honestly, is there a way? Well, I guess they could probably prove it. Well, I don't know. I think it would be hard for them to prove. Honestly, because JP being the husband could find out stuff if he didn't show that they were separated.
Isn't her family, though, aren't they trying to get access to all of that?
The sister is.
Oh, the sister. Okay.
The sister did a, hold on, let me pull back up that document so I can get the name correct on it. Wait, where did my document go? Here, Jesus, hold on, y'all. All of my stuff has not been moved from my screenshot folder to. Okay, so it's an affidavit of the sister in support of the application for appointment of special administrator. So
And she should get it. If they were divorcing, she should get that, I believe.
And she probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would just need to show that they were legally separated.
And she probably will get it.
Okay, so which I'm about to pull this back up. This document. This is the one that I was going to read a second ago. Avery, it's all your fault. You got me distracted.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize how awful this.
You're good. Oh, it is because if you don't know like some of the details of it, and you just see a headline in the news that pastor's wife found deceased, you would just pass over and not think anything of it.
You would.
Until you get to digging into it and learning how this man was and how he treated her and the abuse that she endured while with him.
He should have never been in the pulpit, in my opinion.
No, he should have, because there's rumors of tax evasion with that church. His dad is just downright.
His dad is terrible.
Oh yeah, I've seen about his dad.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, I think karma's going to get him good because, I mean, not only is he, not living right and messing around with, like, his wife's mental health, but then he's going to include, and I hope nobody takes offense to this. I hope there's, if there's atheists or whatever, but I mean, he's bringing it into a church. And so I really think that's like triple karma. That's playing with fire to me.
It's like I put in Discord earlier. Have you ever heard of the saying, a wolf in sheep's clothing?
Yeah.
He's the wolf.
The thing of it is ministers are held to a higher standard because they supposedly they're representing Christ.
Right.
More highly, that they've put themselves in that position. Well, so there's more expected of them.
Right. My grandfather was a pastor. And
I've got several, yeah.
So my grandfather was, and both of his brothers were, all three different denominations, but it was the same with all three of them. If there is something wrong with the spouse or someone in the family, they don't go into detail to their congregation about the problem. You ask, okay, look, my wife needs prayer. Y'all keep her
right. Exactly.
You don't go into detail about it.
No.
Right.
You don't belittle anybody. This man was literally belittling, whether it's his wife or anybody else, doing it in the church.
Yep.
You don't do that.
It almost seems like he legitimately isn't really a pastor. He was just like using that role because he doesn't live the way a minister should. So what does he really believe? What's really in his heart? And it's people like him who, make a lot of believers turn away from it.
Absolutely. And there were allegedly some of the people that were in his congregation that has come out and said, if you listen to what he says over the pulpit about the scriptures, and then you go read what the scripture actually says, it's not the same at all.
Wow.
Well, when a pastor gets up there and he talks about he's going to preach on getting rich and finding him a hot wife,
yeah, that's
at that point, if I'm in a church and I hear a pastor or anybody, a deacon or anybody say that, I'm getting up and walking out the door.
Yeah,
immediately.
He actually said
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy
He
moly.
talked about his wife during this time, and there's all kinds of videos on the church website and on YouTube and all that of him up there preaching and things that he said and talked
Okay,
about
stop.
with Micah's mental health and all this. And yes, he has talked about he's going to preach on how to get rich and find him a hot wife. And there was even an email that he sent to Micah that I'm going to pull up in a minute
Ugh.
of how he talked to her,
This
even in an
makes me
email.
sick. I'm going to start sending him anonymous notes every single day saying, God is watching you. This makes me sick.
I don't believe, and this is just my opinion, he's not a godly man.
No, he's absolutely not.
He's really not.
Mm.
Okay.
But it sounds like he didn't learn that from his dad either, you know?
Wait, didn't learn what?
How to be a godly man.
Oh, his dad is no.
His
Because
dad's
his dad's not.
his dad is just as bad.
Yes. His dad is, like I said, that's a whole other rabbit hole to go down.
Whole nother ball game.
Yeah. With that one. I haven't even gotten into the dad.
You know, I mean, the thing of it,
this one.
the thing of it is that some of these people are just in it for the money.
Yep.
I could name a few, but I'm not going to.
So could I. I wouldn't either.
I can name a few that have big churches that make millions of dollars a year. Hey, BC, how are you? Make millions and millions of dollars a year, and they've got
off of people's Social Security.
Yeah, $1 million mansions, big expensive cars,
jets,
all that.
Jets.
And when it comes down to it, they're not what they claim to be.
You know what's mind blowing to me about that is whether they are a believer or not, they're taking that chance that, you know, if there really is, you know, a God, and it's I believe, but I'm just saying they're taking that chance of when they pass of sliding straight into you know where. And
Hades.
like, how is that even worth it? Like, why would you even risk that chance of, I mean, that to me, that's just
greed is the root of all evil. And that is honest
think
truth.
you can repent from that.
No, once you're gone, you're gone. There is no repenting anymore. You're now being judged for your actions, in my opinion.
And I will tell you this. It don't matter how poor you are. It doesn't matter how rich you are. A rich person has just as much chance as a poor person to get into heaven.
That's right.
A poor person has just as much chance as a rich person to get into heaven.
It's all a matter of the heart, like my daddy used to say. Yep. It's all, if your heart is right, that's what matters.
And I'm not trying to
get people right, and you try to live your life right, that's what matters by what your knowledge is.
And I'm not trying to get religious here, but in this case, this man and the things that he has done in this church and the way that he has portrayed himself, he is not a godly man at all. I just, the way Mica was done, it's horrible.
And I'm not saying what anybody should believe. I'm just saying
I'm not either.
I love people no matter what. I love people.
Yeah, I don't, that's, you know, I've said it on here before. Whatever your religious preferences are, I respect it.
Exactly.
You know, it's just, that's just how I feel. And that's what I was taught that the Bible says.
But honestly, I don't know really of any religion that I've heard of that it's okay to get up and preach about getting a hot wife when you're still married and becoming rich.
Well, I guess my point is that even if I was an atheist, I still wouldn't take that chance of messing around when it comes to a church. Just in the off chance that I'm wrong, and then, my time comes and I'm
Right.
that's my point is no matter what you believe, are you still willing to risk that in the event that you are wrong? And I mean, I just think it's a whole nother ballgame when you're messing with,
I mean, even atheists treat people right. I mean,
yeah.
they still have a
Oh
belief
yeah.
system.
Yep.
They're not going to do
Yeah,
whatever that they want to do just because they're atheists.
yeah, just because there's people who don't believe in God. There's people who do. There's people that worship the devil, but there's, and I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just, if that's what they choose, I respect their decision on that. But yeah, they still treat people like a human.
Right.
Where this man did not, his own wife. You know what I'm saying? He in front of, and I don't know how many people go to his church, but do you know how embarrassing that had to be for her to walk into a church knowing that her husband got up there and put out her personal information to them? That had to
Yeah.
be embarrassing for her. And
I
he
see.
did it the day after she died. He still did it. He had no remorse that she was gone. He had no emotion on his face. He
Nope, he
couldn't
did
even
not.
squeeze out a flippin' tear
Nope.
when he was up there telling it.
He
He
sure
wanted to
couldn't.
say it. He did his whole church sermon that day. He said what he wanted to say, and he said, "Whenever I'm done with the announcement, I want everybody to get up and go out through the back doors and don't talk about it in the church."
Mm-hmm.
That's a disgrace.
Why wouldn't you want your congregation to come? If you tell them that your wife just passed away, why wouldn't you want them to come to you and say, "We are sorry. If there's anything you need, you let us know."
Right.
Uh,
Exactly.
you know, why wouldn't you want the comfort of your congregation? He didn't even want that.
Did
Oh yeah,
he
Sally Mae said, and please keep giving. That's right. He did say that.
Yeah, he did. He said, please keep giving."
did
Yeah.
did he even ask his congregation to pray for his wife? Or
No.
He asked them to pray for him, the kids, and the family. I
Huh.
don't think he said to pray for her.
Wow.
If I can find the video, I'll play it tonight.
Okay.
If they don't strike me, they may strike me because it's his church's thing.
I
But
don't know. I've seen a lot of people play it. I don't think
okay,
they've gotten struck yet.
it's just he could not even make himself look upset.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? If that was my husband, y'all, I would be
Mine,
beside
mine
myself.
wouldn't need, mine wouldn't have made it to church that morning. He would have been totally
I
devastated.
would, and I've never seen anybody who finds out about their spouse, whether they're separated or not, find out that their spouse has died and not let anybody in the church know. Why? I'm sure you have deacons in the church. Okay, why not call the deacon, or if you have like a co-pastor, and say, "Look, my wife has passed away. I just got a phone call. I'm not going into detail about it, but could you please take over Sunday service for me? I'm not going to be there."
Absolutely.
Ask the church to please pray for us. He didn't even want it really out until he made the announcement because he needed to put the story of why she did what she did
Yeah, he needed
was
put
because
his
he needed to
narrative out
throw,
there.
yeah, he needed to put his spin on it, and he needed to throw that mental health problem in there.
Hey, you want to know something about the park?
What's that?
It closes. It's open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., I think, or 9 p.m., and it has gates.
Hmm.
What time they find her?
I don't know. I've never seen a time.
I haven't either.
Because I'm watching a video on the park. It's open from 7 a.m. and I think it says 9 p.m. I can't really see it because
Okay,
it's like raining.
if you see, is there anything on there like about cameras or anything like that? Because Brian Orr said on his side of the park there's no cameras, but he didn't know about the other side. But we don't know
See light
exactly where she
poles,
was.
but I don't know if there's cameras on them
Okay.
because it's raining. It's hard to tell.
Oh, okay.
But they have the building before you go into the park, like a welcome center type of thing. And they have,
whenever I pulled it up on Google Maps, I know that there is like a small little parking lot.
yeah,
Wasn't very big at all. It only had probably 10 parking spots in it, if that.
yeah.
It wasn't very big. But they never have released the exact area either that I have read.
No,
they have it.
Yeah,
of where exactly she was found at.
I don't know if they have either because I didn't see nothing on it.
And Sally
It's
Mae McDowell,
lumber,
I agree with both of y'all. He couldn't be in control at that point if he didn't put the right spin on the story of why what happened to her was because of the mental illness.
Yeah. It's called Lumber River State Park, Princess Anne Access Area, Division of Park and Recreation. That's what the park is called.
Okay. Where am I? I done lost my papers, y'all. Okay, all right, let me go over this document real quick so I can get it down off my screen. Okay, so this is the affidavit of the sister. It's in support of the application for appointment of special administrator. And I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but if I zoom in too much, it'll be too blurry. Okay, so personally appeared before me, Sierra Francis, the sister. Tornadoes on grounds. Okay, Elsie, if you're next to them or close to that area, please be safe.
I see moonlight.
What, you saw what?
Max velocity. I'm watching him. He's saying 9 on the ground.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you saw the light. Okay. So personally appeared before me Sierra Francis, who, after first being duly sworn, deposes and states as follows. I am the petitioner in the proceedings which are pending before the probate court as to the appointment of special administrator for my sister's estate. I am Mica's younger sister, having been raised by our parents, and it has the parents' names. I really don't want to put their parents and all that out there. With our siblings, and it names the siblings. We ultimately settled in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in 2007 with our mom and stepdad. I was aware of Mica's family dynamics in relationship with her husband, respondent John Paul Miller, and his stepchildren. Mica and I spoke every few days, texting daily, so not much as to even create playlists together. Mica would drive to visit me and my family in Gaffney, South Carolina, at least once a month. I know my sister to have expressed the abuse and violence against her by her husband to others, including family members and members of the church congregation. Mica told me that there were people following her, keeping track of where she went. She thought that Mr. Miller hired people to follow her. Mr. Miller later confirmed this during a sermon that I watched. Mica confided in me that Mr. Miller was moving assets that were in his name, such as his vehicle, changing the deed of their house to the church, transferring interest in Crocodile Rocks to one of his sons. In February 2024, Mr. Miller removed my sister's personal items from the home that they shared while she was admitted to the Waccamaw mental health facility and left them at the apartment of, and I'm not going to put this lady's name in there either. My sister was not aware that her personal possessions had been removed from her residence until she was released from the hospital. Prior to her admission to the hospital, Mica was gathering and sorting the evidence that she had to. Okay, give me 1 second. I just got to switch to my next one. Okay, so that she had to bring to an attorney for filing for divorce to support her claims against Mr. Miller and as to his abused character, his paramours, and associates he paid off or blackmailed. I think that also could be another reason why he might have done this to her, because she found out things. Hey, AR, how are you? While at the facility, those documents, emails, files, etc. were removed from her phone, personal laptop, vehicle, and purse and never recovered. Further, Mica was unable to access her iCloud account, email, or Facebook profile. Mr. Miller continued using at least one of Mica's accounts, causing any recipient to believe that it was Mica's communications. Mica talked about what she wanted her life to be like following her divorce from Mr. Miller. This lady had plans. Okay.
Yes, she did.
She was trying to get the money together to pay a car note. I read somewhere something about she was wanting to go get her hair done. Like, this wasn't a lady who was going to do all of this and then go unalive herself, in my opinion.
Can I ask a question? And
Sure.
I'm just having a little bit of a brain fart, I guess. What is a paramour? I have forgotten that entirely. Paramour.
Let's go ask Mr. Google.
I'm just words. I like to know what words are.
Okay, wait. Let me pull this document back up, the first page, because
see that's crazy because she had no ties to Charlotte, North Carolina, like no family.
no.
So
Wait, what did Lady V ask?
What's a paramour?
Oh, it's a sexual partner that's not your
Okay,
spouse.
that's okay. Well, all right.
A lover of. Yeah,
okay, that's what. Okay, that's what I thought. And how was it used in here?
Hold on, I'm going back.
I didn't want to say that because I'm like, am I wrong? But
well, that's why I was going back to look to see how it was. Wait, which? Maybe it was on the page I already had pulled up. Well, hell, hold on.
I was blow drying my hair and I heard Lady V outside. I had to stop blow drying and everything. Just I was like,
I don't know if anybody watched WFLA news 7 hours ago about it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, he's got something out about it.
Wait, where did I just read that word at?
You just read paramour.
Of course, I know what a paramour is.
We knew you would know.
Well, girl, I'm on like day 2 without any sleep, so I had to go ask Mr. Google.
I thought I knew what it was, but I'm thinking, wait a minute, was that just in this document? That's a weird thing to.
It's a polite way of saying love.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I must be crazy, y'all.
Is it further up? I mean, it's been a minute since you read it. I was on mute.
Yeah, okay, yes. It was further up. I had it.
Yeah, his paramour.
Okay.
And more than one.
Yes.
You see the
they made it plural. Yeah. So, and associates, he paid off or blackmailed.
Oh,
she had a lot of information on this man.
Wow.
She had a lot of information on this man, and I think that also, in my opinion, contributed to my belief that he did this.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mica talked about what she wanted her life to be like following her divorce from Mr. Miller. Having traveled for a church mission this past fall from October the 15th through October the 27th, 2023, Mica was intending to participate in additional missions, even to live part-time in Kenya. Mica recently shipped some of her personal items to Kenya in preparation for her stay there. I'm sorry, I just don't. Hey, Tonka, I just don't see her doing all this and making these plans and then
I don't either, because her dream
doing
was
this.
to open a school in Africa.
Yes, I just don't see it. And Tonka, I completely agree. Tonka said, yes, I think John Paul is guilty as hell. I do too.
Yeah, I think everybody
Absolutely.
does.
Yeah.
I think even his congregation thinks he's guilty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so number 12 says, my sister was hopeful for her future after filing for divorce from John Paul. My sister also expressed to me that she was fearful that she would not make it to the divorce and that her life would be taken from her. It is my belief, based on conversations with my sister, that she told multiple people, including other family members. Mica stated to me on many occasions, and I'm going to read this verbatim, y'all, okay, because this is Mica's own words.
Go ahead.
And it maybe it's a little bit graphic. Okay. So Mica stated to me on many occasions, if I end up with a bullet in my head, it was not by me, it was JP.
Mm-hmm.
They got it in quotes. That's Mica's words to her sister.
That gave me chills.
I think, I'm not sure, but I think it's even in the video she made.
Oh,
You really
I
should.
can't-
You should
I
really
can't
watch that
remember
video.
because I did watch it, but I can't remember.
I'll have to just break down and watch them. I tried to, and it was like one of her in a car, and I couldn't.
are you
The
guys
one that
watching
I
It's
saw
hard to
was
watch.
not in a car.
the
It's hard to
Facebook
watch.
videos?
Yeah, she has a lot
Yeah.
of Facebook
Okay,
videos.
yeah, I seen one of them. Part of one of them.
Yeah, they're hard to watch, but
Uh,
Yeah,
she tells.
I
She
couldn't do it.
she pretty much tells.
well, does she sound mentally unstable or
Nope,
mentally
No,
unsafe?
nope, not doing the video. Nope.
Wow.
actually,
That's what everybody says. She
she
doesn't sound
sounds
like
very happy. She sounds very happy to be away from the
Yes,
situation, in
that
my
she's getting away
opinion.
from the situation.
Mm.
Tonka, it's videos that Mica had made on her personal Facebook page. There's like
She's got a
what,
couple
5
out
or
on TikTok
6?
too.
Oh, see, I didn't know she had a TikTok.
Yes, there's 2, I think, or one that she made, and I don't know if it was her sister or her friend.
And I heard there was one where she said she just wanted people to listen to her.
Yeah.
Like that was something that she had said. Like, I just want people to listen to me for once,
Yeah.
or something along those lines. So it sounds like those were like pleas, like cries out, also, kind of like making
Was it
people
Well,
aware.
from what he was doing to her, yeah.
Yeah.
was
Oh.
it cries for
She
help,
wasn't-
or was it putting out the information of
She was just putting out,
being in an abusive relationship?
basically
The
putting out.
second one.
Well, if she was scared for her life, I mean, it could have been her way of, like trying to let people know. Like maybe she felt like, the courts weren't taking her seriously. So she, I don't know.
I think, okay, if those exact words, what the sister is saying, Mica stated to me on many occasions.
Yep.
And then we know that's what happened to her. It sounds like that he had threatened her.
And see, that's the thing. He probably didn't know that she talked to her sister and said, if this ever happens, I did not do this. JP did it.
Yeah, it sounds like that he has told her, or you don't ever know. People like that will actually pull a firearm out and stick it to your head.
Yeah. And
And I'm pretty sure.
And he probably doesn't know that she talked to her sister about this.
Yeah.
And I feel pretty sure that he probably told her, like, who's going to believe you? I'm a pastor.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and he alienated her from some of her friends at the church too.
Oh, this is so bad.
She felt telling her sister what was going on. And he probably didn't think nothing of it. Like, who's going to believe you? Not even your family's going to believe you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because that's what a narcissistic person will do to somebody. They will break them down and they will tell them stuff. I'm a pastor. Uh,
They're
you
gonna
know,
believe me. They're not gonna believe you. Yep.
yeah, I've done told them
Everybody
about
knows you
your,
have some mental
yes,
issues.
you've been in the hospital for it. It's people in the church already know. Like, yes, they will
Yeah,
say
he
stuff
put
like
her
that
there.
to you. Yeah. And so you tell somebody something long enough and they'll start to believe it.
Of course. And she was
Yep.
Yeah.
young. And she was young when they got together. So
Hmm.
she's gonna believe what he says until she got smart.
And she started
And
breaking away and he didn't
yep.
like it. He was losing control of her.
Yep.
This
Um,
is like a Lifetime movie.
it
It
really
is.
is. It's
And the
literally
sad
like
part
Lori
is
and Chad 2.0.
and
Ugh.
Yeah.
the sad part is that's probably what it'll become.
True. Yes. True crime comedy chat channel, Tony. Thank you so much for being a member for 10 months. And he says it's hard to find a creator with morals. There's still some out there. Not a whole lot. There are still some out there with
Oh
morals.
wait, I recognize the dog. Is that our Tony?
That's
Tony
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.
Martinez?
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard he had his own channel now.
Yep. That's
Oh,
him.
stepping up in the world. Okay.
Where did I stop it? Okay, number 15 says Mica forwarded a family group text message notifying us that Mr. Miller was served the divorce papers on April the 25th, 2024. 2 days before she passed away.
Yep.
And see, that doesn't make sense either because she was finally getting what she wanted. So why would she do
That's
what
what I'm
they're
saying.
saying that she did?
That's
Do
one reason.
it, do
There's
it.
so many things that make me believe that he had some part in doing this.
He did it.
The
Either
one that I
he did it
saw,
or he hired somebody. I just don't believe that this lady did this to herself.
Nope.
I don't either. The
And she
one
don't
that
have
I
no
saw,
ties to nobody in
No.
Charlotte, North Carolina. And he was in Charlotte, North Carolina. Come on now.
Yeah. What were you saying, Lady B?
oh, I was just gonna say the one that I saw, she was sitting in a chair inside somewhere and she was talking about a lot of different things, but then she mentioned the rugs illegal
Mm-hmm.
and her eyes got so big, but she sounded like somebody that was just relieved that it was over.
She was a broken soul trying to put herself back together.
She was,
It
but she
sounded like
sounded like she was just like, oh, I can get all this out. You know what I mean?
Yep. That was her release.
Yeah,
until he got a hold of her.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just, yeah. Okay, so on April the 25th is when she notified the family that he had been served the divorce papers. On the 27th, her sister, Mica A. Miller, was found deceased as a result of a GSW in Lumberton, North Carolina. I have the full support of my family in my request to be appointed as special administrator. I take this request and my potential appointment in this role very seriously. This was done on May the 2nd.
Yeah. Well, her sister did sound very serious about.
I hope her family does everything and anything to keep pushing this to where this investigation is thoroughly done. I'm talking phone data of everybody that he's associated with, his included,
I don't think he's gonna get away with this.
Mistress, hers too, all that.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet he did not expect this to hit
He didn't think it's going to blow
mainstream
up his people,
media.
but you know what? They never do. Lori and Chad didn't think it would either.
Nope.
They thought they were going to get away with it. We're going to get rid of my kids. We're going to run off to Hawaii. Nobody's ever going to miss them. Not
Nope.
up here in Idaho.
And
Wasn't suspecting Kay to put in a missing person report on little JJ, and then what is her son? Shit. What is
Tylee?
Lori? No,
Charles.
no, her oldest son.
Charles.
No, that was her husband. Colby.
Oh, Colby.
Colby's the one that brought it because the police didn't even know about Tylee. Colby's the one that brought Tylee up to the police.
Yeah.
Lori and Chad wasn't expecting it to go this far or get him being put on trial for the death of his daughter or his wife. So none of these people who do this, they don't expect social media to take off with it.
And y'all said JLR is there?
Yes.
If I was JLR, I'd be hiding somewhere.
Well,
now,
JLR is going to dig it all out.
Well,
it's not a safe place for him to be.
I haven't watched his videos. Like I said, when I just scrolling through YouTube, I could have swore I saw one of his thumbnails with the park thing on the thumbnail.
He's there. He's there.
So
yeah, he's there.
And somebody said he was at the vigil for Mica.
He was at the thing the other day. I was watching a creator and a different creator, and she was there and said that he was there.
Okay.
All right. Charlotte's not a good place, so.
Wait, why is this not pulling up? Okay, so there is. Okay, Glowbook put this in Discord, but I need to screenshot it so I can pull them up myself.
Dawn said she put a lot of her calls to LE in Discord.
So I'm reading where JLR posted that whenever Mica's tire was slashed and she had the police there, that her husband he rolled up and literally harassed her right in front of the police. And
that was at the gas station. He did that at the gas station but the cops wasn't there. He was calling her on the phone whenever the police were there.
Okay.
I have both incident reports from that day.
Okay, and is that when they found the tracking device on her vehicle? Oh.
So what had happened was she had a flat tire. When she checked it, there was a razor blade in it. So she was able to make it home. She called the police and showed them what she thought was a razor blade, but it was actually a tire deflation device that could be ordered online. And then, so they changed her tire, I'm sure, put the donut or the spare on there, and she went to the Nissan or Honda place and to get her tire fixed. Well, while she was there at the dealership getting it fixed, they found the tracking device. So she made an incident report about the tires being slashed. While the cops were there doing that report, he kept calling. And he was calling from block numbers and all this and that. She stopped on the way to the dealership to get gas, and he pulled up beside of her, and she told him to go on and leave her alone, and she pulled her phone out to start recording, and he took off. Then he shows up at the dealership, and then she gets to the dealership, and they find the tracking device, so they call the cops again to do that incident.
So just using logic here, if, for instance, it is true that she has mental illness and he's doing these things to her, how would it make sense for a man to do these things to a woman who's suffering with mental illness, if that was the case?
Because he's trying to make her think she does.
Yeah. So logically, if you just break that down, that doesn't add up at all.
Well, he doesn't care.
But he don't think
either way.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
He's not.
He could say that he put a tracker on her because, in case he couldn't reach her or something because of her past of trying to do this to herself. Maybe, that way he could find her.
But why be calling from block numbers? Well, wait.
He's a psycho.
No, I'm just talking about the tracking device. I'm not talking about anything else.
Yeah.
He's a psycho.
Oh boy.
Okay, so this is another little bit more of a timeline of events that was not included in the one that I had read earlier. So February the 4th, JP or John Paul preaches a sermon on Korah and Moses and how it's wrong to rise against religious leaders. I cannot imagine living in a house with this man and just us two in the house with him. There's no telling what went on behind closed doors and what was said. February 23rd, he files for spousal support. Why would a man go and file spousal support against his wife?
Because he's an idiot.
Because he's greedy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, February 25th, in another sermon to his congregation, JP says a mentally ill person doesn't know that they're sick. You have to trust the people around you. The thing that's sick is your mind, and your mind is what you need to realize that you're sick.
He's got the sick mind.
Yes, but he's putting all of this stuff in her. That's why he's preaching about it.
Yep. Because he wants everybody to make them believe it's her when it's actually really him.
Yeah. Okay, so March the 10th, JP preaches a sermon and reveals that he went through 2 years of messages on his wife's phone. He found that 18 people reached out saying to her, if you ever need to talk about your husband, you can talk to me and I'll keep it confidential. Visibly upset, the pastor followed up with, that's a demon talking. Why? I don't understand why a pastor would get up and preach about something like this to his congregation. He's painting this picture. I think in his mind he already knew what he was going to do to her, and he's painting this picture to his congregation to get them on his side.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, and let the people know that she said that to her. He knows. And
also on March the 10th, Pastor John Paul says to his congregation, one thing that I'm going to preach about is getting rich, strong, healthy, and finding a hot wife that loves Jesus while wearing his wedding ring.
That is disgusting.
I just can't with this man. I really can't.
That is a man that needs a good beat down.
And Scarlett, just real quick, I tagged you in a video on Twitter of a waitress who is speaking about her encounter with him back in February.
Is it the one where he left her the phone number on the receipt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So March the 10th. A lot of stuff happened on March the 10th, y'all. He tells his congregation that his wife was in the hospital, and as soon as she got out, she left him. So give me 1 second. I gotta grab the next one.
Yeah, I wonder why. If she did do that, I wonder why.
She was breaking forgiving.
I'd have left too.
Okay, so this one's got the thing about getting rich and strong and all that. So, all right. So he tells his congregation that his wife was in the hospital, and as soon as she got out, she left him. She gets out and she just leaves, just completely leaves me. Like he's literally putting it out there, like she had no reason to leave him.
He's crying like a little.
Like he's making everything her fault. So that way, in case she does come out and make allegations about how he did her, he can say, I didn't do all that. You're mentally ill. See, you were in a hospital. You did this after getting out of the hospital. He painted this picture of her to his congregation.
Honestly, I think it was definitely premeditated.
For sure.
If it turns out that he did do this or had somebody do it, it was definitely premeditated.
Yes. Okay, so he says she completely leaves me. She leaves everything, drains the bank account, and just goes. Guess what? While you're talking bad about me out there, I'm building a school in Africa for over 100 kids to be able to be fed. And see, that was her thing. That's what she wanted to do. She wanted to build these schools for the kids in Africa.
That was her dream.
And he took her dream and her idea and turned it against her. Like he came up with it. That was his idea. Yes. He's putting
Totally
it out,
gaslighting.
saying, "Well, she's out talking bad about him." Well, what are you doing to your congregation on March the 10th? You're talking bad about your wife, who you claim is mentally ill.
Do we know what she did for a living? Because I just read the March 12th thing, and I'm just like, what? What did she do for a living?
I think she just worked at the church, from what I've read.
That's from what I understood. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, because he did request spousal support. That's what I was saying a minute ago. Why would a man ask for spousal support from his wife?
That's what I was thinking. Like,
You know,
I could see that. Like it.
go get a job. You know what I'm
And she
saying?
was like the breadwinner and had this really good job. I could see sometimes, a man asking for that, but that's why I was asking what she did for a living. That's weird.
Well, I understood she worked at the church.
Yeah, that's what I had read too. That she was, what was it, a worship leader? There was like several different things that she did within the
So
church.
that sounds
Maybe
like
he thought if she got. I'm sorry.
intimidation tactic.
What?
So it sounds like maybe that was just another intimidation tactic,
It
asking for
could be.
spousal support, maybe.
Well, he probably thought, okay, well, you know what? Have you thought about the fact that if you leave me, you got to get a job? So you go get a job and I'm going to get half of your money. That's probably what he was trying to do.
That's probably what he was thinking, yeah.
Yeah. So he's saying, okay, either you stay with me or I'm going to take half the money that you make and you're not going to have no money to pay your bills.
Not knowing that her family would help her out.
Yeah.
Or if she had gone ahead and gone over to Kenya, and she would have gotten sponsors and all of that to help support her or whatever, maybe he wanted part of that money.
Yeah, he was a greedy thing.
I do not like
You
him.
could just look at him. You can tell he's.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who, I'm not gonna say he's good looking because he's not.
He's not.
But he thinks that he is.
Yep. Thinks it's all about him.
Yeah, and he's one of those like, hey, I got a wife and I got a side piece. Well, does the side piece not know that if he's doing it to his wife with you, that he's gonna do it to you with somebody else? It's a domino effect that never ends.
That's exactly right.
That's how dumb she is.
And he probably just with her for her money too, so.
Possibly.
I bet you she paid for dinner.
I've told a lot, there's been a lot of people that I told, that they're like, oh, well, they're fooling around on their husband with their, this guy and he's married. And it's like, well, they're talking about, getting divorces and getting together and stuff. And I'm like, well, how can you ever trust that person? How can they trust you?
Well,
I don't.
So,
I mean, if they're going to do that once, they're going to do that. You get tired of you. They're going to do it again.
It's a domino effect.
Well,
I couldn't trust somebody like that.
Some say if the person is right for you, you'll change for that person.
No.
But,
shit, Scarlett ain't changing for nobody.
But I'm saying, like, if you're in love with the person, madly in love with the person, you won't do what you did to the one
yeah,
before.
you're not gonna cheat on them or nothing like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Every marriage goes through difficulties and times where there's dry spells for years, and they think, oh,
mine cheated on me. I said, get the hell out. That's what I told him.
Yeah, mine cheated on me and beat me. So yeah, my first husband. So yeah.
Oh, he didn't.
Shit.
He didn't put his hands on me. But
they would have never found the body.
Yeah, he almost did. My mom walked him out with a pistol to his face. So yeah.
I would change.
Scarlett, don't play that crap.
That's so funny because it was funny because when I got married, I was 23 when I got married. My mom said, we can hide his body in North Carolina.
Yep.
They'll never find him.
Your mama's a smart woman, Betty Jo.
I said, Mom, we cannot do that.
Like
my mom told him, she's like, I know somebody that's got 2 alligators in their basement. They'll never find your body. But she wasn't joking either.
Well, Like I said, mine cheated. I threw a frying pan at his head, but I threw a knife at him.
Well, don't throw it. Swing it.
With hot grits. But I would put
Mm-hmm.
me
Medea.
to like
I
I
threw
would
a
think
butcher knife
to a
at him
certain
too.
extent if I was in a healthy marriage, I would change myself if I was in a healthy marriage,
Yeah,
but
that's what I mean.
not for this.
Hey,
Mm.
don't come for me. How are you?
That's what I mean. If say you got out of a bad marriage or just a marriage in general that you couldn't reconcile, you just got out and you find somebody. You're not
Oh, that's
if
different.
you do find somebody that's worth changing for, you're
Oh,
not going to go
yeah.
out and do what you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
I tried to explain that to my son, but he's a man whore.
And I see like where like it says, the Bible says divorce is wrong. And I get that. But like I myself have been divorced twice, but I don't think that God also wants you to stay in an
An
abusive
abusive
No,
relationship.
he does
relationship
not. He does not.
or
He does not expect that, in my opinion.
No,
He does not.
mhm. But some people just want to hone in on that, that the Bible says it's wrong, but at the same time, I don't. I think there's exceptions.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He,
absolutely.
God is not going to ask you to stay in an abusive relationship to where possibly you end up
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not
unalived.
expected. Elsie said there's an old cemetery on her property. No one would never even know.
Well,
I
see,
like Elsie's
the
way of
reason
thinking.
why the reason why I say that is because here we have Morrow Mountain, and it's big, and it's nobody would ever find anybody if they went missing. So that's why she said that. But my mom's been passed away for 24 years, so
And me and your mama would have been best friends, Betty Joe.
I think
Look,
that's why I got along great with her.
I have the perfect idea. If I ever really needed to just get rid of somebody, I would plan a
Don't
trip to,
wait. Don't say your idea on here.
Don't tell us.
but
Because
it's a good one.
Lord.
what if you have to?
But it's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
you don't want to tell everybody.
Yeah.
you don't want us to know that.
Okay.
We'll just know if
That
this
makes us
happens, then she did it.
that makes us accomplices.
Yeah, we ain't being no accomplices.
Okay.
I'll come search for you, girl, whenever you're missing, but I don't
Oh
want to be an
yeah,
accomplice in
yeah.
anything.
You're on your own with that part.
Okay, so explain to me how a quadriplegic gets himself into the pool. I'm looking at the mistress. Does she have an alibi? Liza, that's a good question about the mistress's late husband. I don't believe that he did that to himself. That's just my
No, I
opinion.
don't either.
Okay,
Uh,
was it a above ground pool or in ground pool?
that I don't know. I just
Oh,
know
I
that
because
think was it a community pool?
if it's a
somebody had
community pool, it's an in
said,
ground pool.
yeah,
Yeah,
somebody had said something about a community pool, but I don't know
I
100%
don't know for
for sure.
sure.
Um,
That's what I heard, a community pool, but I only heard that once.
I'm, I'm not going to say the mistress, if he had something to do with this, the mistress didn't have something because she very well could have. Like a little bit of idea giving of how she did it, got away with it type of thing.
Right.
Could be.
Just think Lori and Chad.
Yeah, that's pretty
It's,
much what it sounds like.
yeah,
I just feed on each other.
yeah. And I will tell y'all right now, Mica was way prettier than the
Hmm.
mistress.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
Micah, she was
Way
only 30
prettier.
years old.
Yes, she was
Oh,
gorgeous.
okay, sweet Melissa said it was an in-ground pool at 5 a.m.
So why was he there at 5 a.m.?
Yeah,
Well, how did he get
that's
himself there?
well.
Well, he did have an electric
Electric
wheelchair.
wheelchair. Yeah.
Oh,
I have one. I have an electric.
I just
Oh, because quadriplegics, they have the wheelchairs where they can talk to them, right?
Yeah,
Or do something with their head,
mouth, or
they make them to where they put something on you, and it. I can't.
Yeah, there's like new inventions on how you can get it to move and where you want it to go and all that.
Interacts with his brain.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Tells it.
I know my brother-in-law, he has he's an amputee, and he has a leg that somehow or other they connect to his brain so it moves how he wants it to move.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they have ones that you can do with your mouth. It's a piece
Yeah.
that in your
They
mouth.
blow it.
This is a Lifetime movie. This is a dang Lifetime movie.
It won't surprise me if there is one that comes out, a movie about this.
That's what I'm saying.
Lifetime movies are fairly innocent, aren't they?
No.
They've got some ones that are out with unalivings.
Oh, I haven't watched Lifetime movies in like years.
Oh, Lifetime is mine. I like Lifetime movies, but they got to be. Most of them are true.
Yeah, I'm all into reality TV right now, so I'm just waiting for June, July, August to get here so I can watch Big Brother again.
Yeah, they're supposed. No, they're saying it's not going to be on in the fall.
What?
Yeah, it's gonna. I guess they're gonna have it on this summer.
So it will. Oh, wait, June, July, or August, right?
Yeah, they said that probably in June or July.
Okay, I thought she was meaning no, there's not going to happen.
No, because remember how the last one was in.
Dear God, she like to make me have a heart attack right here on the live, y'all.
I heard it.
Sorry, Scarlett. Remember how they had it in the fall?
Yes, it was late last year.
Yeah. Well, this time it's going to be in the summertime.
Okay, thank God.
I have never heard Scarlett go, what?
Yeah, she's like
before she did that.
Yeah. I'm serious. She likes to make me have a heart attack, which I literally thought she was meaning there wasn't going to be a Big Brother this year. I live for that 90 to 100 and something days every year.
I do too.
That's where all the good, juicy drama happens. Okay, so March the 12th. Gotta let my heart rate calm down here now. JP's request for the spousal support was denied, and there's no explanation as to why. It should have been. There should have been no reason. Why was his explanation for asking for it to begin with? Go get a flipping job.
Yeah.
I mean,
really.
Okay, so March 17th, JP tells a story of a pastor whose wife left him for a member of his staff. The pastor had to hire a third-party company to find her. Once he found her, divorce papers were drawn up. When the time came to sign the papers, the pastor couldn't do it because the Bible says divorce is wrong. And if she wanted out, she would have to leave him. Well, the Bible also says thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Yes.
I'm sure I could think of some other things that says not to do that he has done.
Yes.
In a Facebook post, so this is also March 17th, in a Facebook post made by Mica's sister, Sierra, says that she keeps an eye on her phone for fear of my sister's safety due to others' behaviors towards her. Okay, give me 1 second. Pull up the next one here.
Yeah, I just seen lightning.
All right. All right. So she keeps an eye on her phone for fear of my sister's safety due to others' behaviors towards her. She goes on to mention the sermon from March 17th and calls out the congregation of Solid Rock Church. March 18th, Mica posts a video encouraging others. She says, I'm just making sure that my heart doesn't have any unforgiveness, that my heart doesn't have any unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, just forgiveness and hope for the future and peace. She wanted away from
after
it.
my own heart.
Yeah, she wanted out.
She wanted out. She wanted to live her own life. She didn't want to be controlled. She didn't want to be talked to the way that she was done. She didn't want the abuse anymore.
Nope. And you can't blame her.
No.
And then she tried to keep her heart right while she did it.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, she's the same age as my daughter.
Yeah, she was still young. She had her whole life.
Now, they didn't have no kids, did they?
She didn't. He had 5 kids by a previous marriage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They didn't have kids together. Well, that's a good that in itself is a good thing.
Yeah.
To put them kids through that, I mean, that would have been really heartbreaking.
Yeah. All right, so March 22nd, Mica posted another video suggesting that she was being abused physically and mentally. She also says that God hates divorce, but how does God feel about abuse? She also suggests her husband forced her to take illegal drugs.
Mm-hmm.
See, that right there. That's what I'm talking about, because that's why
that's what I've been saying.
She's got mental issues.
Mm-hmm.
The mental issues is coming from him.
You know what else he could have been doing with those, with the illegal substances? You get her hooked on it, she can't leave because she still needs it.
Yeah.
Only way to get it is from him.
From him.
Right.
So she's going to stick around.
It's another way of controlling her.
Yeah.
You know what was just a really weird statement to me was he said the medicine was hard to get to her. I thought that was just so
because
strange.
So I know in some places there are some medications that are in a shortage right now.
Well, that's get for her. That's not get to her.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's what he meant and just worded it wrong, or because get it to her. How is it hard to get it to her? Is it you're still trying to get the medicine to her, but you can't get it to her because she won't take it from you? Hey, Summer.
Yeah, I just thought that was a really strange remark.
I've noticed there's a few different, like when he said he told the congregation it was self-induced instead of self-inflicted. I've noticed a couple of different times where he said stuff that wasn't worded
right.
Hey,
Summer. Right. I don't know, and I don't think that was just slip of the tongue myself. I think it means something.
Yeah, it's probably letting people know I was getting the medicine for her. She just wouldn't take it. Type of, once again, blaming her.
Right.
By he's a deflector. He deflected off of what he was doing to her to make it look like it was her fault that she was the way that she was.
Right. Because
when
she
all
went
reality
and take her medicine.
It was his fault.
Yeah. We just lost Avery.
She put in the back chat.
Oh. Okay. Okay, so April the 16th, Mica files for spousal support. April the 23rd and 16th, y'all, it's just 11 days before she passes away. April the 23rd, a hearing notice was sent out for Mica's request. A court date for June the 5th was set. April the 27th, she is found deceased. April the 28th, JP announces to his congregation at the end of service that his wife was deceased and it was self-induced. He also reminds the congregation of her mental illness. He kept throwing that damn mental illness in there. He did.
Because he wants them to believe, because he did. I can't.
Yes, that's exactly what he was doing. Okay, I got one more to pull up here on this.
I'm about to go to South Carolina.
We do it. We don't have bill money.
Don't do it.
It ain't worth it. He's really not worth it, honestly.
No, he really isn't.
Let karma get his ass. Seriously. You ever heard the saying that you reap what you sow?
Yep.
Let him reap it.
Oh, he's gonna reap it, all right. I hope when he gets locked up, he gets beat up.
I mean, just his day will eventually come. JP is the one with mental illness. Yes, he's narcissistic.
Absolutely.
100%.
He's the one that should have been put in a hospital and
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
mental help, not Mica. Okay, so April 28th, JP announces. Okay, so that was what I just read on the last one. Also on the 28th, Mica's sister Sierra posts on Facebook saying, "Don't listen to the false stories about, or the false stories being told about her," talking about Mica.
Yeah.
9 tornadoes on the ground in Missouri. Okay, so everybody who is in Missouri, I know we have 2 people in here from there. Y'all be safe. If y'all have to leave, that's fine. Just be safe. Okay, May the 2nd, in an interview with ABC 15, Pastor JP says she was probably the greatest wife anyone could ask for. He also once again points out her mental illness. If she was the greatest wife that anybody could ask for, why are you putting her personal business out for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't look at her like that. That's the reason he didn't.
Mm-mm.
He didn't look at her as being the greatest. She could have been the most perfect woman in the world. He did not look at her like that. Because if he did,
No, he did not.
like he claims, he would not have done her the way he done her. Plain and simple.
How old was she when he first met her?
15.
I think
That's what I
yeah.
thought. That's what I thought. And he was what, 30?
He was 29.
29.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Well, no, because that wouldn't add up. Because if she was 50, okay, so she's 30 now.
She's 30, right.
And he's 45, so that's 15 years older than her. So at 15, yeah, he would have been, y'all, my math, is that right?
29, 30.
Yeah,
he would have
okay.
been 29
okay.
or 30, yeah.
Okay, all right, I had it right to begin with. Didn't he read her Facebook messages to the congregation? I know that he told about some of her, I don't know if they were Facebook messages or text messages or whatever, but he did tell about some of the messages that he had seen on her phone while she was in the hospital. Okay, so everybody's saying they heard she might have been 14. I had read somewhere.
I had heard 14. I just didn't want to correct you. It's like a year off, so.
Oh my God. Lady, if I say something wrong, correct me, please.
It could
I'm
be
sorry.
14. I thought it was 15 too.
It's like,
yeah, I seen somewhere 15, but it could be 14. I could be wrong.
It's just
right
just
there,
as bad one way or the other.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's 14 and he's 29, 30. That is.
Yep. Okay, let me see if I have.
And I don't care if it's South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, whatever. That's still too young.
Yep.
To be messing with a 14, 15-year-old.
He groomed her. That's all he did.
Oh, he definitely groomed her.
Okay, let me see if I can find. Is this it?
And if I was her parents, I would have pressed charges against them.
I'm trying to find the video where he talks about.
But they didn't get married till she was, what, 23?
Yeah, she was 23, but still.
It's just the fact that she
probably
was
because she went
15.
to college, right?
Hanging out with him and stuff like that. You don't know what's going on.
Absolutely. I agree.
My child would have been in the house, would have never left the house, and then he'd have been sitting in jail.
Yep.
I would have made sure of it.
Give me 2 seconds, y'all.
I'd have made sure she wasn't leaving the house till she was 18 to 21. And if she would have ran away, I'd have gone and find her.
I could have swore I put that video in here, but I don't guess I did. Of him the day that
he was reading the.
No, it was the day the day after she passed.
Oh.
When he was telling his congregation about it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Sally Mae says she wishes she could put gifts in the chat.
Oh, I do too.
It would be nice.
It would be, but they're like, I don't know. YouTube's got a reason, something about, I don't know.
We would all get in trouble, but
we sure would.
They never know what we're saying because we're talking gifts. And then every time,
that's why we would get in trouble.
Yep.
And every time, we'd get that hobbit up there running. We'd all die laughing.
I'm waiting for it right now since you mentioned the Hobbit for it to pop up in Discord.
It's gonna pop up in Discord.
I'm telling you, every time he pops up in there.
It's funny.
Okay, so apparently the church's website has now been suspended.
Down? Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
I kind of figured that was going to happen because it's all under investigation. And it's supposed to be tomorrow evening when something comes out.
Yes, I did see something about Tuesday. There's supposed to be a report coming out now.
Yeah, so I'll keep an eye out for it.
Okay. All right, so there it went, y'all.
There it goes.
Sally Mae, he's not running.
I love that little hobbit. It's so cute.
Okay, so it says in this article, her death was announced to the church congregation by her husband during a sermon on April the 28th, a day after Mica Miller was found deceased. Miller told the church her death was self-induced and details of her memorial service on May the 5th of 2024. The video of that sermon has since been deleted from YouTube and the church's website.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's out there.
And I believe because it's going to be he's under investigation. I believe.
He's not. He should be.
Yep.
It's all over YouTube, though. It ain't like it's disappearing.
Because I believe, if it's right, I think I heard that the sheriff is supposed to have an interview with him, either was today or tomorrow.
Well, somebody just said that in chat a few minutes ago that he was served with papers today.
That's a possibility.
And yes, the church, it does say that it is closed, but I have not seen. Let's look at Facebook real quick. Their Facebook page is still up. It says closed now, but it has their office hours or their hours of being open is Sunday from 9 to 12:30 and 6 to 7. All the other days are closed, so that could be the reason why it has closed now. But I did hear that the church had been closed also, that their website is no longer up.
That's what I heard too.
Good.
Yeah, even if you go to the church's Facebook page and you click on the link for their website, it says account suspended. Why would they suspend it? Why would they take it down? That makes no sense.
Probably trying to hide it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Twitter.
Summer said some of the staff resigned. I wouldn't doubt it.
Hold on, I've got. Oh shit, that ain't what I want. Clicking on all kinds of stuff over here tonight. Let's see, I have. Well, I know that I have.
I wouldn't doubt if they resigned. I don't blame them. Because they're probably all going to be on her investigation.
I thought I did a screenshot today of what the guy put out to the congregation, the email where he says that by the power vested in him, that he has relieved John Paul Miller of his duties at the church. Shit, I'm gonna have to get it.
Let's see if we can find that.
It's probably on Twitter. Let me go back to Discord real quick because I did post a lot of stuff in there also.
Holy Chalice, why do you always come in here with your disgusting things? Would you just stop?
What are they posting now?
Some people just can't grow up.
Oh, I think they've been smoking too much of that Holy Chalice.
Okay, so we do not know if that is true. So if you do not have proof to back it up, please do not post it as a fact. Michelle, it was Southern Baptist.
That's what his church was?
That's what it had on either the website or the Facebook page. One of the two, it says Southern Baptist.
Wow.
But I had also read that it was not registered with the, because I'm not Baptist, so I don't know what they call it.
Hi, Robert.
Where they registered the church. You know what I'm talking about? Like
I'm not Southern Baptist either.
It's a Baptist registry for the church or whatever. I don't know exactly what it's called, but somebody did say that the church was not registered.
Well, okay. Wow. Hi, Jen with 2 N's. Hi, Robert.
Robert, how are you?
501. 501.
A 501c3. It does, I believe, say it's a nonprofit. I think I just saw that on their Facebook. I'll have to go back to Facebook in just a second. Okay.
Robert says, why did he have her or someone go out of state to unalive her? I believe there's something behind that her being found in North Carolina by the power of Christ.
I don't know why she would have been taken out of state because her family said they have no connection to anybody in that area.
Nope. No connection to Charlotte, North Carolina.
And that is true what Summer has said because I actually have a thing right here that I can show y'all real quick before I move to the other thing that I just had pulled up. I can't zoom in on it anymore, but the other church with a similar name is Solid Rock Baptist Church. John Paul Miller's church is Solid Rock. Is it Solid Rock at Common Market? I believe is the name of that one. But this is what I was talking about earlier that the church had to put a statement out. It says, good evening, Solid Rock family. As you may or may not know, the other Solid Rock Church in Market Commons has had some things go down recently. As a result, we have had an unusual uptick in people from across the county or from across the country join our pages. We here at Solid Rock would like to inform our newest members on our social media platform that we are in no way affiliated with the other Solid Rock Church, and we won't presume to know anything about that situation either. We are a loving church who preaches the word and Jesus straight from the Holy Bible. So if you're here looking for dirt, we don't have any. If you're here to worship our Lord and Savior, we welcome you.
I was going to say, if he was Southern Baptist, if that was a Southern Baptist church, I can't see them putting up with him like that.
Let me go back to Facebook real quick.
Definitely, because they're going to want to separate themselves from that.
It was either Facebook or it was on the website that it said Southern Baptist. Let me go to this one real quick.
I'm about to throw this laptop out the window.
Just kick it a few times. It usually starts working again.
It won't let me sign in.
Turn it off and turn it back on.
Slap it around.
I'm about to throw it out.
Me cussing usually my stuff starts working if I start filling up some spare jars.
Oh, I've already put it on my phone on mute and cussed it. It didn't help.
Okay,
Even
so
the baby came in to see why I was yelling.
uh, okay, so on the Facebook page it says it's a nonprofit organization. So it must have been on their website. It says Southern Baptist.
Wow.
But I know I'd seen that.
Non-denominational is what Metamom heard. That's what I heard, but I don't know if that's right or not.
See, I can't go to the website because it's taken down. Why they had to suspend the website for? I needed to look at that. And so it could be non-denominational. I did see somewhere that it said Southern Baptist.
I have heard that alleged members, past members of this place, have called it a cult.
So, okay, so this was an email that JP sent to Mica. So it says, "Hi, Mica. I hope you're doing well. I'm ready to be done and move on and heal and find a first lady who won't treat me the way you are." The first sentence is all sweet and nice, and he turns into a pure ass in sentence 2. "I really hope you do great things. I was willing to do anything. I even had the amazing desire to have kids since you are not on meds. And I want to apologize for the flowers and the fruit. It was already paid for to last until your birthday. Feel free to give it all away." He is so, y'all.
Mm,
I need a different word than narcissistic.
yeah,
He surpassed that.
a little demon.
Yeah, that's his nickname, the little demon. That's what it is. I sent that to you before I found out all the things that I have recently found out about you and what you've done, and you disgust me.
Oh, this is gonna make me mad.
So please, let's meet soon and be divorced and let this nightmare be over for me. It's all me,
For
me, me.
me,
What about her? Look into his Joe. It's gonna take me like a whole week to look into the dad, just from what I have
oh,
heard.
that guy.
Yeah, because you got to go all the way over to Pakistan with that one. Okay, I'm enjoying all the Africa missions and Pastor Jumba, and all the pastors' wives are so excited for what we're doing. But yet, this was Micah's thing, and he's taking all the
Yeah.
credit. He took that away from her.
Mm-hmm.
We expect 120 kids our first semester. I have about 10 to 20 people going this time, including Kristen and Tom Winslow and Becca and Jonathan, etc. He is literally, he is talking.
Gaslighting majorly.
He's being sweet. Then he turns into an ass. Then he goes sweet again. He's a roller coaster. That's that mind manipulation. That is that.
Yep.
Oh well, I read the first sentence and it starts out, "You're nice," so maybe this is going to be a nice email, and then it turns into not so nice, and then you go back to nice, and she did. That's the mind. He's playing games
To,
with her. It's what he's
to
doing.
me,
Playing
to
mind
me,
games.
Yep.
gaslighting is not only canceling somebody, but like he's doing, taking credit for everything, ripping everything that she has away
And
from her.
throwing it in her face
Yeah,
that he has the people.
he's
He there.
taking it over.
Yes, and that we expect 120 kids our first semester.
Yeah.
He's rubbing it in her face. Is what he's doing.
Yep.
But it's everything else is me, and I want this nightmare to be over for me. But look at exactly how you talk to her in that email.
This man is just sick.
I can't imagine. Yeah, we're just seeing a glimpse of what she went through with this man.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened behind closed doors, what was said to her when there's nobody around, where she has no witnesses or anything like that.
For what he did to her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel so bad for her, Lord. I couldn't imagine.
Well, I hope she gets the justice. I hope her family gets.
Yeah, I hope they don't give up on this.
I hope they nail him to the wall if he's guilty.
Him and whoever else, if there was anybody else that had anything to do with this. For sure.
Yeah.
When someone does that to someone, it can make one think that they are crazy.
Exactly.
Robert, I agree. And I honestly think that that's what he was trying to make her think that she was.
Yep.
And when she started breaking free from him, he went at it a little bit harder. And then once the divorce papers were served to him, I think he snapped. Because literally 2 days later, she's found deceased. And I do not believe she did this to her.
I don't think his ego could handle it. I really don't.
Look up Machiavellian. I remember that. What was it? Was another case that we were talking about. Hold on. Scarlett, go listen to the interview with a couple of the church that is skeptical of the story. Okay, and then Justin says it's posted in Discord. Thank you, Justin. And no, Margaret, he was never sweet. It's how he tried to portray himself to her in the email starting off. Okay, let me look this word up. Wasn't this Machiavellian? Wasn't this brought up in the Brian Laundrie case?
I can't remember.
I want to say that's where I remember it from. Let's see. He also didn't like the video she made about being the bride of Christ. He's sick. I wish they would not have deleted the.
It's out there. If you go look, you're going to be able to find.
I'm pretty sure it's still on Twitter. Okay, so it is cunning, scheming, especially in politics.
Yeah, that's what I was just reading.
I'm going to say, though, that we heard this. It had to. It was either Lori Vallow or it was Brian Laundrie.
Of what?
The Machiavellian.
Machiavellian.
It was one of those two. There's sneaky, cunning, and a lack of moral code.
I could see that applied to both of those. It's the highest form of narcissism, Avery says.
Yeah, it was one of those.
I mean, that fits both of those. It also fits Letitia.
Yeah, but I didn't follow that case though.
Shoot, I did. It's crazy.
And it could have been brought up in her case. I didn't follow that one. So I'm saying either Brian Laundrie or uh, Lori Vallow. See, I wish Mica would have installed hidden cameras in home. Margaret, that would have. But I mean,
But how are you going to do that if you don't have the money to do that? I mean,
yeah.
how are you? I mean, if you don't, let's say it's because it doesn't sound like she had access to the money. It sounds like he was in control of that. So
I
you
bet you
don't,
anything he gave her an allowance.
probably so.
I'm sorry.
So it's like, and then how do
Yes.
you, yeah, I mean, and what if you have to account for every penny of that?
Well, on top of if she was to try to do that in the house that they shared together and he found out
Yeah,
about it,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
that wouldn't have been good.
Yeah, and I mean, it would have been good for her though if she would have been
I
able to
think I
do it
would have had my
herself.
phone on though and recorded some of the stuff.
Okay, so Smoke, where did you send it to me at? Email or what? I'll have to see if I've gotten it yet.
Just maybe try to word things a little bit differently then so it's not taken in a lured manner. And I don't have a dirty mind, so
Okay, wait. All right, Smoke. Does your email does it start with an ilm? I don't want to say the whole thing yet because I just don't know if this was from you or from someone else. Okay, never mind. It must be because I'm reading the email now. Okay, and I'll have it's a YouTube video, so I won't be able to play it on here. I'll have to watch it.
Canuck Joker says, do you think she was forced to phone 911? I wonder if Ellie released the recording. Margaret says it was Brian Laundrie that was used in.
Okay, I knew I had heard it somewhere. I just knew that it had to be one of those two.
And now we know.
Yes, because that was really like the first two cases that I started following in true crime. Before Lori Vallow, I didn't even know there was true crime on YouTube until I started watching that case.
I really started following it. What was first?
What do you mean?
Was it?
What was first?
I was trying to remember if Kylie Rodney or Laundry was the first. Which one
Laundry,
happened first?
laundry.
Laundry.
Okay, that was the first one I started
Yeah,
following.
because that one happened before I'd ever started my channel. And then when I started my channel in June, Kylie's case happened in August.
Yep.
It was literally just 2 months after I started the channel.
And that's when I started coming over to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Gabby's for me.
when I
Because
started YouTube is when Summer went missing.
mm-hmm. Well, I was on YouTube. I wasn't doing. I didn't have the channel started at that time, but I was going into chats
Yeah, I
during
was.
the summer case.
Yeah.
But I wasn't.
I didn't know you could do that back then. It was just welcome you to
Wait,
have
you
them
sound
on board.
muffled, Lady V. You sound muffled.
I was just saying I didn't know you could go into chats back then during summers,
Mm-hmm.
but I was watching a lot of stuff on her from YouTube.
Well, okay,
Gabby.
so I don't remember what year it was, but when Takashi 6ix9ine, when he was in jail and he had testified on everybody and all that, my husband was he's the one that started watching it and trying to keep up with what was going on in the courtroom and all that. And he come across a YouTuber who was talking about it every night. So we started watching that channel. Well, then later on, when Lori's stuff happened, you start hearing about it here and there on social media, like personal Facebooks and all this and that. And I was like, damn, I'm gonna go to YouTube and see if there's something like, like is there other people actually talking about it. And sure enough, when I got on there was like all these different channels talking about it.
Yep.
And then Gabby started, and I remember thinking, okay, she's missing, now her boyfriend's missing.
Yep.
And then that's like where I really got into it, into the Gabby Brian thing. Like Gabby just, y'all, that broke my heart.
Gabby took over the world.
Yeah, it really did.
That was so sad.
Yeah.
Especially the video of her in the back of the police car.
That damn.
Yeah, they should have.
And they didn't do a damn thing.
I get so mad at the police when I think about that.
Because you had Gabby and Brian, and then right around the time you had Crystal and Kylan in Moab.
Yep.
And y'all, for the longest, I thought Brian.
I do too.
I couldn't find no other logical explanation for it. Like, he was in town. Gabby's deceased. These two girls are deceased. Like,
I did too.
Made
I
sense.
thought the same thing.
Megan Boswell, was she was before Summer.
She was before Summer.
Was she after Gabby?
No, I think she was before Gabby.
She was before Gabby? Because
so.
I didn't really keep up with that case either, but I do remember watching somebody that was on YouTube, and they were streaming the news when the helicopter was flying around and they were at the pond. And they were searching a pond. And that was really, and then once they searched the building and all that. But I didn't really keep up with that one.
Yeah, she was before Gabby. I kept up with it for a while, but hell, I think her trial don't start until 2026 or 2025.
Yeah, it's still a ways off.
Yeah, I think it's 2025, I believe.
Michelle said, I went into a live yesterday about Summer Wells. It was like being in a Twilight Zone.
Yep. She's not lying.
Is it who I think it is
probably
that she was in?
Probably. I can't take her voice.
Margaret says she came into our chat during the Cavalcante case. Hey, Glowbook.
Yeah, but I had seen Margaret. I had seen Margaret in another chat before that. There's a lot of people in here that I saw
seen in other
different chats. Yeah, and then they end up over here.
I used to go all over the place, like to the different. But now I don't have like a whole lot of time to go and drop in different chats.
Oh, we see each other all over the place, we people here.
I try to behave myself when I go in other chats.
A lot of times I don't say anything.
There's a lot of them that I would like to go in and, drop in the chat and say hi and, all that. But I don't have time to do it. I need more hours in a day.
K-Braze is like everywhere, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I see her everywhere.
Oh, he's a guy.
Oh, I see him everywhere.
He was up on one of the panels one time.
I'll go in the chats, but I won't say nothing.
Yeah, I do too.
Unless they're talking
Margaret.
Unless they're talking, crazy, then I'll say something.
Poor Margaret said the first time I came to LSTC, Summer Watson deleted me. Oh, poor thing. Avery, don't be telling no fibs up in here now. She says she always behaves.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
We'll
Either
let
way,
that one
girl, we got
slide.
your back. Whether you're behaving or not, we got your back, girl.
I'm just not being an accomplice to nothing. I'll be your alibi or your search and rescue. That's not an accomplice.
I'll be your accomplice, Avery.
Summer said it was an accident that she deleted. Margaret. Margaret, don't feel bad. She put me in a chair.
The host of the show.
Put in the dang chair. Still don't know why.
I would fight a dragon for Avery.
I don't know about a dragon now. They can spit fire.
Yeah, I would. I feel like I kind of did, but I would. I adore that girl. She's one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life.
Scarlett, how long have you? Okay, so I started. So I've had the channel since, let's see, 2021, I believe it was. I didn't start doing lives until June of 2022. But before I started doing lives, I was all up in everybody's chats and everything else. I was over the one chat. I don't know how I still hear y'all, I'll be honest. I'm wondering if I lost my hearing.
There's some, I'm not sure what it is, maybe somebody else does, but there's some rumblings about the Kylie Rodney case thing again.
Oh, I'm not going to put this woman's name out there. But, okay, so you wasn't in here the other night, Lady B, when Aura come up here, were you?
I did watch it, but no, I passed out.
So, I think it was like the day before she came up on panel that night. I had seen she had made a community post, and it was regarding the Kylie Rodney case. And Aura has covered that case for a while too. And that's during the time that I actually met Aura, was during that case. And I seen she had made a post about a rumor that Kylie was pregnant. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, no, like, in Aura, what she said in her post was correct. Like, we read the autopsy report. She was not pregnant. You need to stop. This is getting ridiculous.
Right.
So somebody else had asked her in the comments who was the creator, and she said she didn't want to put it out who it was.
Right.
So I went to Twitter because that's how me and her talk. And so I sent her a private message on Twitter, and I asked her who it was, and she told me. And because I went searching all over YouTube trying to find where this, because I didn't know to begin with who the person was. I was just kind of going like to the different channels that I knew had talked about Kylie, and I didn't see anything on there, and I didn't think that any of those channels would put something out like that. But that was the only ones that I knew who had talked about Kylie Rodney's case. And then she told me who it was, and I was like, okay, she came out after I had started talking about the Idaho 4. And this woman is, from what I've heard, not too good. And she's literally using hashtags about this baby and all that. Kylie
oh my God.
She wasn't pregnant. Yeah, that's I saw Sally Makes. That's why I didn't read it. But yeah, that's part of her name. Yeah. And it's ridiculous that you have to put a rumor out there like that. And if you actually sit down and read the autopsy report, even though I didn't believe half of what the autopsy report said, there were some things in there that would suggest that she would not have been pregnant.
Yeah.
CC. Oh, I didn't know CCTV put a video out. I'm gonna have to go check it out.
I still think that I still think maybe I shouldn't say anything.
I think, and I said it from the jump, that I think Kylie Rodney was deceased before she went in the water.
I
Yep.
do too. I really
I
do.
believe the same thing.
And
I do too.
autopsy report, there is a lot that I don't believe in the autopsy report. But if you read the
I
autopsy
believe
report, it does not suggest that she was pregnant.
No,
I
no.
believe there's
Nowhere in the
enough
autopsy.
money. I believe there's enough money in that area to cover up just about anything they want.
There is enough money in that area to cover up 1,000 things like Kylie.
And there's enough money in that area to cover up.
There's money, and there's very high influential people
Exactly.
in that area. Without even naming them, uh,
Yep.
there's some high up
Pretty
people.
big names in
Yes,
politics.
yes. And what was the boy's name? Shit. Oh, we lost Betty Joe. The little boy.
Nate.
Yes, the one that they said Kylie was going with. His grandfather is friends with every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, I'll see if she wants to come back up in a second. If not, I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, Summer, I just don't believe that she drove herself off in there and then tried to swim out when she had a window down beside of her and she ended up swimming to the back.
Yeah, I don't either. It makes no sense to me.
If you look at the inside of the car, it would have been hard, even though she was a small frame person, to get over the back of the headrest of the back seats upside down in the dark.
Well, it's not logical. Like you said, I mean, the window was down. It's like,
Yeah. And she knew if she was alive, she would have knew that it was down. So why didn't she step
yeah,
that way? Even though she's flipping upside down, she still could have felt her way over
yeah.
to that
Well,
window.
I mean, you'd have enough time to even, you're going in and you'd have enough time if you were conscious to get out, you know?
Yeah. Kelly P, yes, it does. Lots and lots and lots. And let's
It
not
does.
forget about the Truckee Way.
Well, and let's not forget how many girls have gone missing right in that area as well.
Okay, Betty Joe, that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna probably get out of here in the next 5 minutes. I really wasn't expecting to stay on here this long because I've got to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I got to be somewhere at 8.
Okay. Well, as usual, I'm going to jump down so you can say your goodbyes to everybody.
Okay. Well, thank Betty Joe. Thank you and Avery both for coming up, and Lady V, thank you for coming up tonight.
Thank you for having me up, everybody. Good night. Sleep safe. I'll be praying for everybody that is in the path of these storms this week, and I love you all.
All right. We love you
Bye-bye.
too. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Thank you. Avery, have a good night. So yeah, if anybody, I haven't looked at the radar in a while, but the storms didn't look good earlier. There was a lot of different rotations, a lot of tornado warnings. Somebody says 7 tornadoes on the ground earlier at one time. Y'all be safe. If y'all can, let me know that y'all are okay. Joe, thank you for joining us tonight. Y'all just be safe. Tonka, you have a good night as well. So I love you all. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with us. And I will talk to y'all later.